talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
On Jackson Holliday on a few days ago, February 6th, he was doing live batting practice here in Sarasota. Felt something in his right hand. It's a broken hamate bone. He's getting it removed tomorrow by Dr. Stephen Shin in Los Angeles. So it's a pretty common baseball injury, for a very long time. Happens to hitters a lot, and it's nothing concerning long term, but he's going to miss some time, won't be ready for opening day, and hopefully his return is measured in weeks after that, but you're not going to see much of him here in Sarasota.
Cool.
That's why we got Blaze.
That's right. That's why you got Blaze. Thank you to the Baltimore Banner for that. This is the difficult part of this conversation, and I don't want to obsess over it because Jackson Holliday's season isn't over, and certainly the Orioles, should not be making plans around the idea of Jackson Holliday breaking a hamate bone, which apparently everyone is doing.
It's the cool thing to do.
It's not. It was Corbin Carroll apparently did it, and who's the pitcher? There was a pitcher who broke a hamate
I know
bone
Francisco
this week,
Lindor did, and that's why. So he's missing. He might be ready because he broke it earlier.
There
so
was,
he might
I
be
swear
ready
there
sooner.
was
But
a pitcher.
I mean, I guess there probably was. I
don't know
wouldn't
what's
doubt
going.
it.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm worried. Should I start wrapping up my
right?
hamate bone?
Like, are we all in trouble? Is this like a pandemic? There is a third. I can't remember who it was though.
I thought it was Lindor or Carroll.
Yeah, I know Lindor for sure.
Fourth, okay.
But there was another one. There was a pitcher, I swear to God, that I saw that had a hamate bone issue. Anyway, moral of the story being, I see our friend Paul Valley from the Bat Around, and he's like getting on people like, I don't understand why everybody's so down on Elias, which is weird because Paul's
Paul's a very harsh critic.
It's very weird that this.
I guess
is,
I don't
this
know.
is the route that he's taking. And the point is more, as I've said a million times, I love certain things that the Orioles did, but they put themselves in a position where for this to work, everything kind of has to go right. And not just right, like better than can be expected, which is within the realm of possibility, and I can't pretend like it isn't. And certainly, even without everything going well, there's enough there that they can be playoff contenders. But
check.
Good to see you. Just good to see you. I don't know what's about to happen, but
nothing. I mean,
always good for
this
you to
long COVID is
by.
killing me.
Yeah, there we go.
I swear.
I thought we were
when
going
I
to do
got
new
it,
material. I thought at some point we were.
When I got this long COVID,
whatever happened to new material?
When I got long COVID, they said it would rear its head at the worst times.
Oh no! Well, I can hear it.
Here I am again.
Right.
Right?
This is the issue.
You only get it when I cough, though. Don't worry.
Right. We're good then. The issue is that this is a team that is built that everything has to go right. And that's never going to happen. Not everything goes right. And I get it. You could say, well, hey, in 2023, everything went right. Like, it is not a plan for everything to go right. That's not how you build a baseball team. Is, hey, in a perfect world, this happens, this happens, this happens. Right, well, what about in the real world where that's not the way it's going to go? What's the plan then? And in relation to Jackson Holliday, obviously they went out and got Blaze Alexander, and
he
can
is it
hit
true
lefties a little
Holliday
bit.
Hurt? But what is it? Tell me. I'm just catching up.
A hamate bone.
His wrist.
Yeah, that's not good. The hamate is not good.
Yeah, it's not good. He's going to miss opening day for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure he's going to miss opening day.
Okay.
The word is that they're saying it happened on February 6th, so the common thought is that's probably about an 8, maybe a 10-week recovery.
How did that happen? What was he doing?
He's taking live BP, apparently, so it sounds like he must have got hit by a pitch.
Get rid of that guy. Whoever threw
The guy
that
threw the
ball.
pitch?
What if it was a
Yeah.
machine? It was
Get rid of that machine.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
one way or the
great-
other, get rid of it.
That's a great point.
Oh, man.
It stinks. It stinks. You could say, hey, it could be worse. You
Well,
could
now
say,
the Blaze Alexander thing makes more sense.
Now, the way that they say it,
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with it, right?
Blaze Alexander was signed the day before this occurred.
Gotcha.
Or was traded for the day before this happened.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it's a hell of a coincidence,
Yeah,
you
right.
know? Must have. It was a hell of a piss, you know?
Right. I'll be on a hell of a piss.
So
Is it
what
Arnold?
What a coincidence! What a coincidence! Now that I guess helps. We'll see.
Yeah, sure.
At the moment, Jordan Westberg is hurt too, but you know, what's
Okay.
new?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
right?
if he's not hurt, something's
yeah,
wrong.
It's a Wednesday.
What did he do?
So that's about right.
Open that for me, would you? What did he do?
Calm down over there.
Well, you know I can't do this
You
at
keep
the windows.
saying that. I think you're going to be okay.
What did
I swear.
what is
Dealing
his
with an
injury?
oblique issue, but it's not going to cost him opening day. Apparently, just
Well, you want to bet?
I assure you.
You want to bet right now he
Sure.
doesn't play opening day?
I don't know that I know you get excited to bet anything.
Right,
I
correct.
understand that, but I'm going to pass on that option. I'll choose not to make that bet. So yeah, at the moment, I guess they're going to work out Kobe Mayo as a third baseman and let Blaze Alexander
He came up as a
play.
third baseman.
That's
so
right. He
what
did
could
do
we be?
that.
What's the problem?
What is the problem, Griffin? Great point. What is the problem? And then we'll see.
How do you get fired on your day off?
It's a
How do you guys get hurt before training camp starts?
well, they probably are working out.
Okay.
Probably doing things.
I tell you what. Tell you who didn't get hurt working out.
Hard-working guys.
Gavin Sheets.
It's a great point. That's a great
I
point.
saw Gav
Got
before
that-
he left.
Got that going.
He probably drinks his milk, I guess. And
He
that's,
does. I bet he does drink his milk. I bet that is the case. So there's the news related to the Orioles. Mike Elias not only spoke today, but spoke yesterday, did a Zoom call. And you don't come away from it thinking that the Orioles are still prioritizing pitching. You come away from it thinking that they think they've got their guys. Here's Mike Elias answering a couple of questions in relation to pitching yesterday on a call with the local and national media.
I think we have a very good rotation, talented group of guys, some external additions. I mean, Eflin was a re-sign, but brought him in from free agency. Shane Baz, we made a major trade. We got Bradish back for a full season. Trevor Rogers coming off of his campaign. Dean Kramer, all of the depth, a lot of which that we saw last year. Brandon Young, Cade Povich. So I think it's a really strong group. We're staying plugged in with both the trade and free agent markets, as all teams are here as we ease into camp. So there's still a possibility for external rotations, but I think that our rotation is very strong and very talented.
Given the quality of some of the top end starters available in the free agent market, including Fromber and Ranger, who come to mind, would you call, the Orioles not getting one of those guys a disappointment?
No, I wouldn't. I think we've put together a really strong rotation as it stands right now. We'll continue to look externally if we can bolster this group in one way, shape, or form. But I mean, Shane's an incredibly talented pitcher who's coming off surgery and had a really solid year, and the stuff is as good as it gets. And we're looking forward to having him and working with him and bringing Zach back in a place where he's much healthier than he was last season. And then all of the other guys that I named, I think we have a really good group. We're always involved and communicative if there are free agents or trade candidates available. But I think that this rotation looks good. I think the bullpen looks good. And I think we've got a really talented position player core. And this is a team that's very capable of going where we want to go, which is deep into the playoffs.
So there you go.
So, yeah.
We got that, right? All's good. Somebody reported yesterday the Orioles were still on Zach Gallen. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Nightingale who reported that yesterday. So there's that. But the way that you hear that from Mike Elias certainly doesn't suggest that he is overwhelmingly concerned about adding any pitching. And again, this is the conversation. You can buy into the idea that maybe they could this all could work. Who knows? Maybe everything goes right. Maybe Trevor Rogers is exactly as good as he was a year ago for a full season. Maybe Kyle Bradish is.
If he is, then he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Right? Maybe Trevor Rogers is ready. Kyle Bradish is ready to throw 200 innings and be a Cy Young candidate. Maybe Shane Baz, who everybody keeps telling me has all of the talent in the world, who has the talent to be a. What did John Mioli yesterday? The Orioles believe he's got the talent to be a front of the rotation pitcher. Maybe all of those things go right. Maybe.
Well,
You want to borrow a phrase from Drew? You want to bet on it?
yeah. Well, in fairness, that is what happens when you win. In other words, it all does come together, right? And you have one weird year where Kyle Bradish didn't get hurt, and this guy. I mean, sure.
Or
maybe.
some teams stack the deck to be able to, overcome that a little bit better.
Who's out there still floating around? You want them to get?
I would say you're using the wrong word. Do I want them to get?
Okay.
I'm not going to be excited about any of the free agents that are left pitching wise, but do I think they should still go get them? Abso-freaking-lutely. Bassett, Giolito, 100%.
Okay.
Make your number 3 pitcher better. Make your number 4 pitcher better. Make it so that when one of these guys isn't ready to start the season, and undoubtedly they won't be ready to start the season. Zach Eflin, for example,
I don't disagree
won't be ready to
that
start
they
the
need
season.
something else. I'm just wondering what you think that person is. That Bassett. I'm not huge on him.
I'm not huge on
fair
Bassett,
enough.
but Bassett's
But,
been,
Giolito,
to be fair, he's been really good in the American League East over his career.
Yeah, Giolito is interesting, right?
Yes.
He's been injured, but has, worked through that to the degree that I think his injuries, his availability is probably underreported. I don't think he's been as hurt as everyone thinks he's been. In my opinion.
I mean, obviously he missed all of 24.
Right, he missed.
Right.
Right, that was 2 seasons ago.
Right.
People, it happens.
It does.
But-
I mean, Kyle Bradish has barely pitched, and he's
Right.
an ace.
But I don't know. Giolito wouldn't be a bad move. I don't disagree with that.
I do any of these.
Right.
I would make a move if you're. This is the part that I keep coming back to. The biggest issue that I have isn't that I think the Orioles stink. It's that I don't know what they are planning to. Like, what do they think they are?
Right.
Because they went out and spent on Pete Alonso, and that made sense.
sure.
Of course.
Of course.
But they weren't Pete Alonso away from being able to compete to win a World Series.
Right.
They were a few things away.
But what pitcher in the offseason, without question, should they have gone after? Without question.
I mean, Michael King was at the top of my list.
Yeah, me too.
That was the
Okay.
guy that I wanted the most.
Okay.
But part of that was about practicality.
But would he have? Where would he fit in? What would he have been? I guess.
A 2, I guess.
Yeah, I think
hopefully,
right-
I mean, hopefully Bradish is you're
You're
I mean,
hoping
he's-
that Bradish is that guy 100%.
King could have wound up being your 3.
if Rogers
yeah,
is
again,
last year,
if
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I'll take
So
that.
okay, so King. Then who else?
I mean,
I really wanted Fromber or Ranger. I thought one of those two should have been an Oriole. Like
Okay.
Phil's the
But
left-handed
you
pitcher.
are you
Vo-
suggesting they
Void.
just shouldn't sign pitching? Is that the suggestion?
Yeah.
But why?
Well, I want him to finish 4th.
Okay, there we go. Now it makes a little bit more sense. I was confused
No,
there.
I'm just
for a
wondering
second.
who. Just wondering who you think they really, really missed out on. Like any of those guys would have been good. Totally agree. I'm with you. If you'd have given me the pick of the litter and said spend the money, I don't even remember what King signed for.
He
but
signed for
45
essentially a one-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially.
I would have said go get any of them, but I could also poke holes in any of those guys.
There's nothing we can do better than explaining why we don't sign somebody.
I
It's
know.
the easiest
I
thing
don't
in the
talk about
world
the money.
to do.
I couldn't care less about the money. I don't care about the money.
Mm-hmm.
But you could poke holes in all those guys, right?
Right, but you can poke holes in all the guys that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them. Every single one of them. There's not one of
I
them.
guess we could poke holes in everyone everywhere. I could poke holes in you.
In a way, I guess you
I
could.
could definitely poke holes
To
in
be
you.
fair, like as much
Heard
as
you do radio.
Thank you. That's a great point. I'm with you on
Definitely
that.
could poke holes in him.
I don't know.
What do you
I mean,
mean?
he's
No way.
trying.
Yeah,
He's doing
catching strays here.
He's
I
doing
don't
his
know.
best
Out of
okay.
nowhere.
Yeah.
I would say King. I would agree with you on King. I'm not saying that I wouldn't want Valdez. I would say Valdez would have been the back end of what Suarez would have been fine. King King would have been the guy. I really don't mind Giolito. Was there not and I'm just using this guy as an example. It's not the guy. Was there not a Pavetta or an Eovaldi available?
Yeah, maybe like a Nick Martinez, somebody like that.
I mean, those guys go places.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, Seth
Eovaldi
Lugo is the perfect example of this.
Yeah.
Who a few years ago was the afterthought on the
Yeah.
free agent market and proved to be the definitive signing
turned
of
out
that
to be a stud
cycle.
for Kansas
Correct.
City, right?
Right.
So did we miss out on that? I would be more about missing out on that guy, personally.
Yeah, but I think that
I would be more
the
about
deal that Michael King got is essentially that type of
right. That he could be one of those guys. Although
He
he's
got-
on the
he got a
upswing.
3-year deal.
Eovaldi, when he was a free
Right.
agent, he was kind of petering out, and all of a sudden found the Holy Grail again.
I hear you.
Not like he was a Cy Young guy, but anyway, somebody asked me this. Was it today or yesterday? Somebody said, "Do you think they have enough pitching?" And I said, I think they do if it all goes
If
perfect.
it all goes perfect, exactly
Right.
right. And I just find that to be
Has to go
unlike-
perfect.
Exactly right. That's where I'm at. Could it? Maybe. But
I think
I
the more
also think that
troubling thing-
you need Tyler Wells in the back end of your bullpen right now, and right now Tyler Wells is going to have to be a starter.
Yeah, I
And
think the
that's-
more troubling thing is that they don't have a guy or two that you now say, as of today, you say to them, go make 12 starts down there,
Right, and then
on June 1, we're going to bring you up, and you're going to be ready to go.
well, they keep reminding you that Brandon Young exists and Cade Povich exists, and who knows? Maybe one of them will prove to be a pitcher at some point. They might be. I don't know.
Took a perfect game in
But
Houston.
that's
for
correct. I
almost 8
remember
innings,
it.
so-
I remember it happening.
He
It's
is
just
legit.
a does it all go well scenario. All right. We'll talk more. I got a few things I want to get to. Drew's here, but not all the time that you're talking to somebody who's about to have their own bobblehead night. And tomorrow night,
I didn't even know.
yeah, no, not you, not you. We're not giving
I
you a
was like,
bobblehead.
What the hell?
But our next guest is getting a bobblehead
What?
tomorrow night. And Maryland has turned. It was a little bit of a tough stretch there as
Well,
they
I
lost
want
3 in a row, and we were starting to be a bit concerned
It's
about
not a
everything
Shea
they've been
Duran
through.
bobblehead, is it?
No, it's. Would you shut up for a second?
All right.
Joining us now,
Take
the
it
pride of
easy.
Middletown, and someone who's been an unbelievable fit since she's arrived at Maryland. She is Saylor Poffenbarger, and she is with us this morning here on GCR. Saylor, it's Glenn and Drew. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time for us. No, I think, Saylor, you froze somehow. We'll see if we can't get that figured out. Yeah, we'll try to get that fixed. Unfortunately, technology is what it is.
She'll be
but
back.
I have no doubt that that's the case. Yeah, tomorrow night they're doing Saylor Poffenbarger bobblehead night.
Are you kidding me?
At the
I got to
Maryland
get
game.
one of those.
I think it's only the first 1,500, so you got to get there early. You got
Well,
to
everybody
make
will
sure
be in a
you
good mood tomorrow
arrive.
night after what happens tonight.
What do you mean everybody's going to be in a good mood after what happens tonight? You think that
80-76 Maryland,
okay,
overtime.
There you go. We'll call it. Sure.
Hey, we're coming off
Yeah,
a win.
Sure. We'll count on that. We're
We're coming off a win over Minnesota.
That's the most likely scenario. That's true. That's true. That is the
Iowa's
thing.
pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
Iowa's pretty good.
They are pretty good. I agree
Yeah.
with that. They are pretty good.
We are not that good.
What are you talking about?
We're not that
What are you
good.
talking about? You called that the other day.
I did call you. I did tell
You
you we were going
called-
to beat
you
Minnesota.
called that.
I did
You
tell you.
nailed
I did tell you we were going to beat Minnesota.
You were talking about going to face Kevin Willard in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, dude! If there's when I say if there's a God, that's terrible because there is a great God. But if there's a basketball God anywhere who puts his fingers or her fingers on these matchups, please, basketball God, please, 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 someday allow Maryland to play that bald-headed goof and his team and have Maryland stomp them.
You know, he's pretty good. You know, he's done a pretty good
Please.
job against Villanova.
Don't even remotely.
I don't know if you've paid attention. I know you're a basketball guy, but you know they're pretty good this year. Like, are you aware of
He's just
that?
so aggravating. You wrecked this program.
Right.
Wrecked it.
Right. Well,
You-
they've got their
You
guy.
you didn't open the door like we do in the parking lot and ding the door and put a little scratch and dent in it. Like that happens to all of us. You wrecked the program. You lied. You bald-faced lied. Wrecked the program. Left it in complete, utter disrepair.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the nerve, the temerity, to come into the building the other day
Well,
and flippantly.
wait. You said come into the building. He was at a different
Well,
building.
I'm coming to
They
the
were
building in
they were in
D.C.
D.C., yeah.
But come into the building and sort of flippantly make fun of these people who came into the building to make fun of you.
Right. Well, to be fair, it's kind of a weird thing to do. Right.
No, it isn't.
It's kind of.
It's the
kind of
American way.
Is that the American way?
Yes.
Is that our
Haven't you
God-given
seen us
our
protest
God-given
recently?
right?
We are allowed to protest.
Well, right, but I'm not saying they're not allowed to.
We are
I want
allowed
to
to
make that
protest.
abundantly clear. I'm not suggesting they're not allowed to protest.
This is in
But it is kind
home
of a
of the
weird.
free, land of the brave.
It is kind of a weird way to spend your American
Or
dollar.
the other way around, right?
Yeah, land of the free, home of the brave. Yes, it is kind of a strange way to choose to spend. Like those
Doesn't
are your-
matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, I can't remember a time. I don't usually get. I couldn't care less most of the time about anything.
Mm-hmm.
This guy drives me nuts, man.
It's really weird
Because
that you're this
it does
worked up.
because of the way he did it. Because of the way he did it. You stood there last March and said to those guys at Maryland, "I'm not leaving."
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then 24 hours later, you're up there eating cheesesteaks.
100%.
I hope Villanova loses 110 to 6.
I got bad news for you. They've been doing a lot of winning.
If there's a
Got
God, I can't wait for Maryland to play them in the tournament
got
someday.
bad news. They've been doing an awful lot of winning. Tomorrow night, the Maryland women host Penn State at 7 o'clock, and it will be.
And they should want to win to stick it up.
They should want to win for a lot of reasons. They've been doing some winning recently. They beat Michigan State the other night, which is a huge win. They're coming off a win over Nebraska this weekend. Saylor Poffenbarger, the pride of Middletown, is with us this morning here on GCR. Saylor, it's Glenn and Drew. It's great to see you. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me.
Is that the Middletown near Frederick?
Indeed. Absolutely.
It is.
It is?
Absolutely
Okay.
is.
Okay.
The Marylander in heart.
Okay.
Saylor, this probably, have you seen the bobblehead yet? Have you gotten your eyes on it?
Yes, and thankfully I had my hands on whenever it was getting designed, so I have zero complaints.
Okay, I was gonna
okay.
say, did you have to get a first draft and say now wait a second, I don't know how I feel about this?
Well, they sent back and forth a couple to whenever it was getting finalized, and so we had a bunch of say on our hair and our jersey and what we were doing. So it was nice that we could be super hands-on in that process.
Oh, this is so good. Are you 21 yet?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
21.
So this is the ultimate. You take this into the bars down there at College Park and say to the guys, "Yeah, you think you're cool? You have a bobblehead?" If this is
Right.
this is the best.
Yes.
I love it.
Is it? Tell me, Saylor, if there's I think 1,500 that are giving away. How many have you been
Yes,
able to?
I think it's the first 1,500.
Yeah. How many have you
Yeah,
been
it's
able?
1,400 because
I was gonna say, how many have you been able to make sure that you get for friends and family and everyone who's begging you to make sure that they get their own?
Well, they actually give us a box before they hand them out. So I think that there might have been 1,600 of them, and I got 100.
Okay,
Now
there
there's
you go.
1,500.
Very cool. Very cool.
And
So-
have your teammates gotten a hold of one yet to Eddie the Elf? Are they appearing in the locker room or anything?
Not in the locker room, but I did make sure everybody had one because they could never forget me.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Well
love it.
done, Saylor.
I love it.
Hey, Saylor, I brought it up earlier. Obviously, you guys went through a little bit of a rough stretch. Again, that's tomorrow night against Penn State, and that's also the play for K, the
want
pink out game. And the first 1,500 fans get the Saylor Poffenbarger bobblehead, so make sure you get down there tomorrow night. You guys went through the rough stretch, and I know your team has been through a lot injury-wise this season, right? What did going through that little dip do for this team, and how did you make sure that didn't snowball and kind of become defining and figure out a way to go bounce back and beat that really good Michigan State team and sort of right the ship?
Yeah, I think it just speaks to the level of competitiveness in our conference. I think obviously the Big Ten's the best conference right now. I think yes, it does speak to we have had a lot of adversity, and I think it just shows the resilience of the team. I think it was easy to come in and kind of feel bad, but after each loss, we kind of wanted to develop new habits. We wanted to continue to learn. We wanted to grow together, and I think just staying the course got us a big win and got us the connectedness that we have. And I think a lot of people say they don't want to play their best basketball now, but I think it's very hard to lose that many in a row, especially when you are such an amazing team and you you have such high standards and goals. But I think at the same time, it taught us a lot about ourselves at the right time. I think it showed us that, you have to make a lot of sacrifices to win at this level and to, be super successful at this level. So, I mean, it was very tough. I think it was easy at times to come in and be kind of discouraged, but our staff did an amazing job of keeping us high, keeping us, humble, keeping us wanting to learn and like super hungry. And I think that shows why we are bouncing back the way we are, because we do have a huge level of fight, and our competitiveness, our want to win is very big.
That's really cool. Your path to here and to be able to do what you've been doing at Maryland these last couple of years. You took the scenic route, obviously, right? With a couple of stops other places at UConn and Arkansas. What has this meant for you to be able to do this so close to home and to be able to have the success that you've had here? What has that meant to you, to your family, and your friends?
Yeah, I think it means more when you're able to do everything with your family. I'm a very big family person, so being able to, have my family in the stands every night, having my friends, being able to, make certain events. I have little siblings that play at Middletown now, so like tonight I'll drive up for senior night, get to go to a home cooked meal whenever I want. It just makes everything more special. I think, like you said, I took the scenic route, so I was able to go experience different things. I experienced, being far from home. I experienced different types of things, and I think it just makes you, you take it for granted less when you get to just see your family once a week, twice a week. And so it's been really cool. They're my support system. And so just being able to constantly feel supported all the time has been really special. And I think, just being able to play for Coach B makes it, I don't know, she's the best. I respect her, and I put her on a huge pedestal. She's done so much for Maryland and for the sport. And so just being able to finish out with her, it's been really special. And just the whole thing is family. The system here, the staff, the team, all of that is super family, related. And I think just being able to have that and then go to my actual family has been really special.
I know, you've talked openly, and I know there was a piece in Hoops HQ about what your family has been through, right? And you've been through a lot of tragedy in your life and your brother. And I can only imagine that, like, being home, does it help with all of that to just be so close? And as you talk about, have that support system right there.
Yes, for sure. I think, when we did deal with that type of stuff, we kind of were only taught to pour into each other. So I think whenever I was far, it was hard because they were, like I said, my support staff. That was all I knew. And so being able to be home and have that, 45 minutes away has been really special. Everything that I've ever gone through in life, I've kind of poured into my family to get through it. And so I think just having them here as my final 2 years has been really special.
I'm a Geno junkie, so I got to ask you one Geno question. Is that okay?
Of course.
Well, I just want to. I'm interested to know. Tell me something about Coach Ariema and Coach Freeze that's similar. Something that, like, the two of them both do that, that you like, or that vibes well with you and the way you play.
I would probably just say, like, their hard work and, like, knowledge of the game is very similar. I think they both do a lot of work. I don't want to speak specifically, but, some programs, their head coaches kind of have their assistants do a lot. And so I really respect that both of them do a lot as well. They do a lot of the scouting. They do a lot of the, end of the game film. And so it's nice that you can trust your coaches and, like, know that they are the ones, like, backing whatever is being said. And I know sometimes, you get into systems and it's like assistant coaches deal with the close after the game, or they do all the scouting reports. And so I really respect that. I think Geno and Brenda both do, like, they both put in the same amount of hours, and they both, do the same, whether it's scouting report or in practice or whatever it is. They're kind of running everything. And then, at the same time, they give trust to the assistants, but at the same time, they are the ones kind of in charge. And I really respect that about them.
Cool.
Obviously, it's produced an awful lot of success for both of them over the years. There's no question about that. Saylor,
Yes,
I saw you holding up the sign the other day for Ella Brazee, and we've known Brian for a while, and obviously he's had a heck of a career himself. But for those that don't know about Ella, your relationship with Ella, why was that something important for you to do?
I mean, Ella's, like, forever in my heart. She holds a huge place in my heart. I think she was kind of like my little sister. Growing up, we were always close with the Brazees. Brian and Reese, my older brother, had played football on and off. And then obviously I played basketball in the same organization as Kendall did. And so just Kendall was kind of like the older sister, mentor, basketball player. that I looked up to in high school. She was super successful. And so Ella, when she was growing up, you know, I started to like give her some workouts, like when she was playing basketball. And then obviously through the whole cancer process, I was just trying to be a support system. I think, you know, she taught me so much resilience and fight. Like anytime I was ever around her, she was smiling, she was happy, she never let anything defeat her. And I think those are the lessons that I'll carry forever and just try to, you know, spread her name to the world, because she had the worst of it and she was never upset and she never allowed anything to defeat her. And I think it just goes to show like the life lessons, like nothing that we're dealing with can be that hard. And so whenever, you know, it's tough to wake up to go to practice, I think about Ella. I think about the fight that she showed every single day and the joy that she had doing it, and just constantly, you know, she was so happy around her family, around her friends when it was such a hard time. And I think just being able to honor her is something that I take a lot of pride in, is something that I would love to do. Obviously around these times it's special because you play for her, but I feel like every day I play for her and my little brother. So, you know, play for Kay is special, but I just would never, like, I try to carry Ella's legacy as long as I can.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. Saylor, this team, we know when you guys play your best, you're capable of beating anybody in the country. How do you make sure that's what you get night in, night out the rest of the way in order to make that deep run in the tournament?
Like I said, just the sacrifices that we have to make. I think, you know, we did kind of have a come to Jesus moment when we were losing. And I think we kind of poured into each other and realized like we have so much care and love for each other. So let's show it. And I think sometimes, you know, you get caught up in the points or if your shot's not going in or whatever it is. And I think that's just, we're human, so it's normal. And I think just realizing that like, we did a new thing where we choose a player before each game and you just pour into that person. And sometimes, you know, when you take it off of yourself, everything comes easier. And I think that that's kind of our biggest thing, is just putting it on more of a we, and, you know, everything else takes care of itself.
She is Saylor Poffenbarger. Tomorrow night, bobblehead night down in College Park as Maryland takes on Penn State. You got to get there early because you know there's going to be a great crowd for tomorrow night's game. So get there early. Be one of the first 1,500 fans. Get your Saylor Poffenbarger bobblehead. Saylor, you're a remarkable representative of this state and this program, and you do things the right way, and it's awesome to watch you play, and we're so happy for all of your success and wish you the best of luck moving forward this season. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
It's Saylor Poffenbarger from Maryland as they get ready.
What a world we live in.
Right. Hang on a second.
What an incredible
wait.
world.
Before you go, I'm trying to figure out where you're about to go because I never know with you.
She sits at College Park and puts herself up on a screen, and we talk to her like she's sitting in the next room. We just live in a great world.
You're 60 and you don't realize that's like that.
I've just found this out. What's it called? Zoom?
Yeah, right.
It's just a crazy world we live in.
Yes,
What
to
a
be
great
fair,
world.
imagine telling your grandfather that, right?
Yeah, what
like
a great
imagine going back and
what a-
explaining to your grandfather
what
that
a
one
great-
day you'll
what a
be
great
sitting
world.
here just talking to
What a
somebody
neat
like
girl.
that. Oh yeah, she's awesome. She's incredible, and
Yeah.
obviously, you know, her story is amazing, and appreciate her taking the time for us.
Now let's get back to beating up Kevin Willard.
Well, I don't know. I actually want to talk to you about Buzz. If we're going to talk some Maryland.
Well, you know what I've been saying. I mean, go ahead and ask.
I
Go
want
ahead.
to.
Okay.
Did you see he had a press conference yesterday?
No.
First media availability he's had since.
Okay, let me hear it.
Now, to be fair, as a couple people brought up,
Well, he meets after.
yes, he
games,
does
yeah.
talk after games, but I don't look, man. I haven't covered a day-to-day basis the college sports in a long time. It used to be that the day before every game, the coach would meet with the media, because in a different world, there were newspapers, and those newspapers would write a game preview.
Well, in a different world, the programs needed the media.
That is also true. That is also
We
true.
got tickets to sell. We got bobbleheads to give away.
100%.
Right.
I would add to that
Look at this guy.
Calm down. I would add to that even in this is me acknowledging. I don't know if Kevin Willard was doing that before every game. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if that's something that changed this year or it changed in the past. When I covered Gary Williams met with the media before every game, the day before every game.
Okay.
I definitely know it was happening more frequently than it's been happening this year. I know that. Now, somebody would say, hey, there's less media or there's less significant media. The Washington Post now no longer covers sports. The Baltimore Sun does have a Maryland writer still. I don't think the Banner has a dedicated Maryland writer. I think they do send writers down to cover Maryland, but I don't think they have a dedicated Maryland beat writer. So you could say, hey,
Morning Dish does.
What's that?
Drew's
You do
Morning
have a
Dish does.
dedicated, but
There's a seat in the press box.
that's a great point. But they wouldn't go the day before the games of the media availabilities. I don't think.
No, he's got a real job.
Yeah, correct. It's not a dedicated,
Right.
full time.
But he's a beat writer.
I appreciate that.
He knows basketball.
So there's been a lot made. I wrote about it recently for Pressbox. The disconnect between Buzz Williams and the community and the alumni and the fan base is real. And there's any number of reasons for it. As a lot of people point
I
out.
almost think saying disconnect, it's a disservice to disconnect.
Okay.
I'm serious. I don't think there's been any connection.
Zero.
And I don't think he was connected. And then suddenly the thing went to hell in a handbasket,
Right.
and now
They
they're
started
disconnected.
losing. Yes.
There is no connection.
Before there was any wins or losses, there was no real attempt at making a legitimate connection. Buzz Williams was asked about that yesterday, and he politely disagrees with your assessment of Buzz Williams.
I would say I've done as much or more than I've done anywhere. I don't know exactly what I should have. What do you think I should have done more of?
I'm just speaking for fans.
Oh, I don't know.
More, FaceTime with.
Yeah, I've said yes to everything ever been asked to do, unless it was relative to practice or a game. Whatever was said by John or Big Ten or media, I don't know all of those people, but I have never said no unless it impacted what I needed to do on my job. So I apologize for those that don't think they know me or whoever these fans are. I'm happy to. I'm not hiding anything.
Can I say something? This isn't about what you're asked to do. It isn't. It's about you intuitively knowing what you should do.
How do I ingratiate myself?
Yeah. This isn't about the 26-year-old nerdy PR guy going, hey, Buzz, maybe we ought to go on Glenn Clark's show.
That's not who they have. They have,
What-
they have an
what-
adult, a real professional.
26-year-olds are adults, aren't they?
Yeah,
No,
but
not at all. You're not. If you're a male, no. Your brain doesn't develop until you're 26, 27. We all know about that.
it's not far off
Yeah,
on
right.
that. I don't know if
Some of
I don't
us-
know if it's that soon, to
Some
be
of
honest
us-
with you.
Some of us, it's later than that. But this is not about the PR guy coming to you and saying you need to do Glenn Clark's show. You have to know intuitively, what am I supposed to be doing to get kids at this school interested in the program? What he didn't know they were going to stink in June, but that's when you're doing the work. Now, meaning that's when you're laying the groundwork yourself. Like, okay, when kids come back from school, what are we going to be doing in September and October, November to get them excited? What am I doing? I'm brand new. No one knows who I am. I didn't even really start here until the end of April, and by then most of the kids were gone. In fairness to him a little bit, the timing of it was definitely awkward, meaning April came, the kids left, they forgot about him. I don't know what he did over the summer, but this is not about you being told what to do. That's where you're missing the
let's add. I can say with fact, and like there's room for the gray area in between here. I know that he hasn't done everything he's been asked to do. I know that, and it's not just like me saying, "Well, we've asked for interviews." I know a lot of people have asked locally for Buzz's time, and either they know his answer is going to be no, so they're not asking him. There's potentially room in there for him to be like, well, I don't know about that. I know that a lot of people have asked for Buzz Williams' time locally that haven't gotten it.
Well, and he deflected.
Right.
He deflected that very casually with the little snippet of, as long as it didn't impact practice or a game.
And he might say, well, all of this impacts.
Correct.
Yes.
Because here's what he does this morning. He gets up at 7 o'clock, and he goes downstairs and runs on the treadmill for 20 minutes. Well, he can't talk to you then. Then he gets in the shower, and at 8 o'clock he goes and drives to College Park, and he's on the phone with Bill Self talking to him about something, so he can't do it then. Then he gets to the gymnasium. Then he gets over to his office at 9:45, and he's got to meet with his assistant coaches to talk about practice today, so he can't do it then. Practice isn't until 3 o'clock, by the way. But I'm already
right.
I'm in
Now,
practice.
if I'm doing this, this, and this, then it's going to impact.
When you not to compare myself to him, like we have a workout today, 3 to 5 at Coward Hall. I'm not doing anything between 3 and 5, and in fact, I'm probably not doing anything at 2:45 because I'm in the midst of getting a coffee, getting ready, looking at my sheet. What's our program today? It's Wednesday. What did we do yesterday? We did legs. Today we're doing core. Okay, who's going to lead it? Well, yesterday Hoffy led it. Today I'll let Ashton lead it. Like so from 3 to 5 now I'm out, right? So his 3 to 5 is 9 to 5. I can't do any of that. I got my assistant coach sitting here, and we're looking at game film. So that's a very unique, that's an easy way for him to go.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't do anything.
Well, everything impacts so I just can't do any of it.
Right.
Now, to be fair, he's done some national media over the course of the year, and he certainly seems to care about national media. And that's part of the one thing that I think is 100% truthful about. Go ahead and play the other clip, because we had another clip of Buzz Williams from yesterday. And then I'm going to kind of react to all of it, because I think in there's some truth. And then I want to talk to people about what the word apology means, because I think we're struggling with what the word apology means. Go ahead.
I am completely aware. Whatever was going on the internet that said I didn't want to talk to the media, I don't know. I have not tried to dodge anything relative to the results. I've coached 19 years as a head coach. I'm completely aware of how good Maryland is and how disappointing our season has been. Our staff is continuing to study and figure out ways for improvement. But our system going forward will be more sustainable. We're excited about a lot of the things that we've learned, and there's not an excuse or justification for our lack of success other than we have to do better, and we will do better.
So that all's fair, right? Like that's all
1,000,000%.
That's all fair.
This is, I think, anyone that follows sports or college basketball in this case, but understands the realities are you are going to there is an ebb and flow to programs, right? Particularly now in colleges, it's very volatile. You could be good one year, good terrible the next year. Go steal a bunch of players, get better, pay a bunch of guys, get better. Like, it's very volatile. It is very volatile.
I don't know. I don't think it's actually any more volatile than it's been before. I don't think I agree with that.
Okay,
I
anyway.
Just look at, it's the
but
teams
the
that are good are good.
But the results are the result. Well, but I'll look at somebody like Oregon. They're way off this year.
Yeah.
Right? They lost 2 key guys.
Sure.
But anyway, I'm here to say, maybe it's the coach in me. I'm not even pissed off you only have 2 wins. I'm really not.
Yeah,
I'm not that pissed off about it.
I don't know. This has been uniquely bad, and the juxtaposition of him versus the guy that replaced him at Texas A&M is really tough.
I know, because they're 15-6 or whatever they are, 16-5, whatever they are.
And that guy had less time than Buzz did to fix this and to figure this out.
Totally
so
agree.
that's
now that guy also didn't lose his best player.
That's true, but they were losing by 30 points when they had Pharrell Payne on the floor. Like this notion that Pharrell Payne was going to, they might have maybe won another game. They were going to be bad basketball team with Pharrell Payne or without him. Like they were going to be a dreadful basketball team.
But they would not have been this bad.
If you're suggesting they might
be like 4-8, like in the Big Ten,
But confidence begets confidence. Like they've been down for weeks. That was a miracle Sunday. Yeah. They should have got their ass kicked on Sunday too. Like this is, they're going nowhere. They got nothing. And these guys are all miserable, and they've uncovered 2 relative gems, and the rest of those guys, they can all go, honestly, if we're going to be honest, and I know we don't want to hurt their feelings. They got 2 kids that are decent, Mills and Adams. The rest of those guys can all leave.
Mm-hmm. Diggy Coit seems to be a good
He's
player.
okay.
But he's not going to be back.
He's right, and he's very hot and cold. He could get 7 points tonight. But the other 2 kids, I think, are decent. And I, if I'm Buzz, if that were me, I'd probably be really trumpeting that and focusing on that and trying to.
Well, this is so. There's a
hope
couple.
They stay.
Yeah, there's a few layers to this, and I want to go through the few layers to him. One thing that he said in there that I absolutely believe is truthful is he's done as much as he's done anywhere else.
Right.
There is no doubt of how truthful that statement is.
This is the way I've always been.
But that, of course, is the problem, and it goes back to the uniqueness of how bizarre of a hire this was. They knew this, or one phone call would have let them know this.
Right.
Either they knew and decided they didn't care, or they didn't try to figure out anything about Buzz Williams. They just had someone tell them, go hire Buzz Williams, and they said, okay, we'll do it. Buzz Williams is like this everywhere he's been. He does not ingratiate himself. There is no connection. There are coaches that go other places that still have connections, and still he has no connection to anywhere he's been. He doesn't want to. That job is not important to Buzz Williams.
Right.
It's just the job he has.
You can tell what's important to him. There is no question what's important to him. And he thinks it's the absolute 100% end-all, be-all. Winning.
I mean,
winning.
Right, but he doesn't do a lot of that either.
But winning.
Yeah,
That's what his real
I don't fully
coaching
I think that he
is.
cares a great deal about. He wants to win, and I also think that religion is very important to him. It's very important to him that he.
I like the guy. Now.
When I know that's your thing. That wherever he is, that he establishes that religion is very important to his program, which is all good. I have no problem with that.
Well, would you?
If you're winning.
Okay, well, this is an interesting discussion because do you think there's any chance at all that his and I don't even know this. You're telling me new thing. I mean, I knew, obviously. I know somebody down there who says he's a devout Christian, so I know that. But I don't know what.
Well, I mean, it's important to him that they have chapel on the road. That they
okay.
like those things are important.
Okay, well, that's good
to
that you're
Buzz
telling me
Williams.
that. Do you think in any way at all that contributes to a disruption in his team? Is that possible in your mind?
It's an interesting question,
yes
and
or no.
I know what you're alluding
my feelings don't get hurt.
My gut tells me no, because I think he purposely picks the type of players that won't lead to a disruption on his team. I think his guys are guys that also believe and want to be a part of that type of program.
Right.
I don't.
Look, I'm the first one to admit, like it is a touchy subject. I'm very blessed at Coward Hall because
they want you to do that.
Because it's a
correct.
Christian Brothers school, and everybody that comes to Coward Hall in some way, shape, or form, even though we don't have all Christians there, you wind up being immersed in Christianity when you're there, for sure.
My kids are at a Catholic school. My family is not Catholic, but they're being taught, Catholicism at their school. I understand that.
So,
it's part of the.
But when you're at a facility, and this is a challenge for him, and I personally, and I'm torn on this, right? Because personally, I like hearing that he has a faith embodiment in his basketball program. I love hearing that. I think every kid could use it. I love it. But I'm also not naive. And if you're going out to recruit basketball players, and that winds up at a make sure I say it the right way. It's different if you're at Brigham Young. But if you're or at Notre Dame, potentially.
Sure, right.
But if you're at a school like Maryland,
Texas Christian, something like that, right.
But if you're at a school at Maryland, which
is not.
I don't want to get into the political aspects of conservative, liberal. If you're at a school like the University of Maryland and you're recruiting basketball players to come and play for you, I don't believe one of your recruiting tools should be, if you come here,
this is going to be a strong.
You're going to have to buy it. I think that's a very slippery slope if what you're trying to do is win basketball games. If you're trying to put 12 players together who are exemplary student athletes and followers of Christ and want to be, the best human being they can be, okay, but you might go 2-16.
So to be fair, I want to be very fair as I talk about this. Because I don't want this to turn into like.
No, I'm asking you though, if you think
I do not know of any example of Buzz Williams saying this kid can't be in the program because he's not religious enough.
Of course not.
I have no example. Now I can't say that that's never occurred or that a kid didn't say, "Hey, I'm not going to come here because the way you do things isn't the way that I live." I just can't say that I have any example of any actual problem there. And as I've said to a million people, I'm not very religious, but John Harbaugh is. And it worked with his guys for times. At times, that part of it worked. That guys really liked the foundational, religious part of the way that John Harbaugh did things. He liked that there were guys that liked that. There were other guys that rolled their eyes at a lot of that stuff, but at times it worked. I think it's different everywhere, and it's more important to have a feel for your team and to know, does this work with this team? Does this not work with this team?
It's as a coach, it's incumbent upon you to know the personalities and to know. I mean, I can remember like it was yesterday. You remember where Ray's locker was. Ray had the 2 lockers in the corner. He was the only guy on the team that had 2 lockers.
Yep.
And he would sit there. And I can remember it like it was, we weren't allowed to speak to him, unless you had an appointment. But I can remember specifically walking up to Ray and kind of like, quietly just walking over in his direction and saying like, hey, Ray, what's up? What's good in that book? And he would give me, hey, it's all good in this book, brother. Right? And then I would look over real quick and like Ed Reed would be like rolling his eyes or, like it isn't for everyone.
Well, there was a time where I think famously the Ravens had a God Squad problem.
Right.
There was a real disconnect between the guys that were very heavily religious and involved with it and the guys that just weren't. And that became a conflict in the locker room. And I think that
Well, if you look at Buzz's history, if you look at it like that from 35,000 feet, you say that issue – that issue, right? And again, I'm the guy who I love hearing that he has a strong faith component in his program. I love hearing that. That said, I'm not naive, and I do understand that there are going to be young men, in particular, this case, who would say that's not
good,
for me.
I'm good. Yeah, 100%.
And at that point, then the question is...
To be fair, I also think there are some that are going to say, hey, otherwise I would have no interest in Maryland, but that's exactly what I'm looking for. I think that's possible,
too. I
too.
got news for you. I mean, again, it's easy for me to say this because it's Calvert Hall.
Right.
But I'm knee-deep right now in the process of, I'm not going to call it recruiting, but I'm in the process of kids coming to Calvert Hall to play golf for me.
Sure. I
very strongly speak to them and their parents about the faith component of Calvert Hall golf.
That's what we do here. This is
I had
who
a parent once from St. Paul's, so I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, but now I've said it. I've said it. I had a parent once came up to me at a golf match and said, "Did I see you guys pray before the match?" I said, "Yes, sir." And his comment to me or question was, "Does the school know you do that?" I said, "Does the school know I
Calvert
do?"
Hall. I'm not sure if you're
Well,
familiar.
does the school know I do that?
Yeah, right.
The school is thrilled that I do that.
Yeah, right. It's Calvert Hall.
Then his question was, what would happen if a kid didn't pray? And I said, it doesn't happen. He said, you didn't answer my question. I said, because it doesn't happen. Well, what if a kid didn't want to pray? I said, sir, I got a golf match to coach. I got to go. But that wouldn't happen. See ya. And off I went. But in Buzz's case,
yeah, I mean, it's right.
If a kid said, hey, dog, I'm good Sunday morning.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. Right. Yeah.
What does that do?
I don't know any of those details. I don't.
No. But it's a very fair.
I've been very careful in how I tread this. I think one of the problems for Buzz is that we don't know more about him. That all I know is religion. I would like to know more about the program. I'd like to know more about. He said yesterday, I read a bunch of books about Maryland athletics. Okay, like what? Like what?
Sure.
Tell me something that you've learned about Maryland athletics. Because, there's not a lot of books out there about Maryland athletics. He said he's read one a month.
Who was Mike
seems
Tebow?
Unlikely. Yeah, correct. You know that? And, by the way, if what he said is, I read that book that Walt Williams put together about Len Bias, I think that would be great for him to do that. I think that'd be a wonderful thing.
Who was Brian Tribble?
There's no chance.
Okay.
No chance.
Maybe we shouldn't go down that road.
Zero chance.
Well,
but look, I think those are wonderful things. My point is, it's getting out there. And that's not just doing media interviews or radio. They have their own thing. Maryland has a Maryland basketball radio show. And you can call it a radio show or whatever you want to call it. You call it a podcast. You can call it, they tape it. They go over to a local bar. And the same way that they have forever. Buzz Williams has done that one time. It's theirs.
Right.
It's their thing.
And all you're getting there are softballs.
Correct.
No one's going to say Buzz.
Johnny Holliday hosts.
Yeah, right.
it.
You're not going to say Johnny's not going, well, Buzz.
Yeah,
the guys are 1-11 now.
He hasn't done that.
Right.
Which even again, if you don't care, like, no, nobody listens to the radio. Nobody. It's going somewhere where people are. It's allowing someone to
So-
come over and touch you and say, hey, I want to tell you my story about why I care so much about Maryland basketball and why I'm such a big fan.
So here's why now. Your argument might be, and you could be right on this. You know, he wasn't like that at Texas A&M. He was just like that at
No.
Texas A&M, or he was like that at other stops. Here's the one thing about now, 2026, 2025, 2024, whatever it's been the last couple of years. Part of this is when the school's getting $52 million and you sort of kind of don't care if people come or not.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're supposed to care because the more people are there, the more raucous it is, the better of a chance you have to win.
Yes.
I get that.
Or the next kid that shows
Right,
up.
right.
They brought in Abina Akizi's kid
I
a
get
couple
it, right.
weekends
And they
ago.
lost by 100.
100%.
Right.
Like,
And I get it.
It wasn't because of me.
But I
I
do
think-
but I
yeah,
do get
Griffin
it.
did his best.
But this is what happens a little bit. And now we're really going into the weeds now. This is what happens when you give a guy $15 million for 5-year guaranteed deal.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if they win 2 games or 60 games. He's getting $15 million.
That part is true.
This is what happens when you are getting $52 million from the Big Ten Network and they don't care what your record is. And at the end of the day, and this goes back to what he said a little bit before, which is, as long as it doesn't interfere with my practices and my games, that is ultimately the only thing he cares about.
Correct.
He's got his $15 million. And when I say he doesn't care, understand that that's loose.
Mhm.
But he doesn't care. He doesn't care what happens. He doesn't care if 9,600 people come.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
The joke's on you.
Yep.
He's got a built-in pool. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the school's getting $52 million no matter what happens.
All that's true.
And now today, and this is I don't want to make this sound like a negative because it's not. Now he's getting $8 million to give to basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hell, it's really easy now.
Well, not really.
But
no.
yeah, because somebody else is giving
Yes,
15,
correct.
right? But you know what I'm saying. It. And I read your piece. I thought your piece was excellent. And I linked it. I said, Glenn and I are, almost kindred spirits in this. Like there is something missing, and what's missing isn't. And this is maybe what you're trying to say, and I'm trying to say too. And we're just now coming around to like figuring out how to say it. It isn't that you didn't hire. It isn't that you hired the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's that you didn't hire the right guy. Does that make
I
sense?
think there's something to be said for that. Yes.
It's not that you hired the wrong guy.
Mm-hmm.
The team might be good next year.
Yeah.
It's that you didn't hire the right guy.
Correct.
Who could you have hired? What would the team be right now? And what would the atmosphere be right now? And what would everything be down there if Rick Pitino were the coach? And I'm just using him.
Sure.
I'm not
Right.
advocating
Right.
for Rick Pitino. It's the first
Mm-hmm.
fluid name that came to my mind. What would the team be like? What would the program be like if Rick Pitino were there? Rick freaking Pitino. What would it be? I don't know.
Would there be life to
Yeah,
this? Would
I
there
don't
be
know.
a
I think so because every time he speaks,
I just
you're like, oh,
I'm going to stop short of saying, and I'm not beating you up for this. I'm going to stop short of saying they hired the wrong guy, but I just don't think they hired the right guy. And I don't know why. Like, that's my point. Like, what happened there?
My gut is.
Did you just go get him because, well, there's only 3 guys left?
Right. Or because someone told you and that person has influence, and so you just said, well, whatever Kevin
look at these
Plank
NFL
says.
teams. All these NFL teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these NFL teams, in their heart of hearts, must completely believe they hired the right guy. And yet, we all know
So one of them's going to be fired next year.
Correct.
Facts.
And 3 years from now, 4 of them will be gone.
Yeah, 100%. And they all got the hero's welcome at the door when they.
Sure.
And
So
one of them is going to be fired.
Did you hire the wrong guy? You didn't.
Well,
think
I think in a lot of places Mike Vrabel wasn't the wrong guy in Tennessee. Mike Vrabel was the right guy. Tennessee wasn't the right place.
Right.
Sometimes that's the case. And I think that's part of what Maryland fans struggle with when I talk about Maryland is this notion that the program will elevate a coach. That you look at what Buzz Williams has done somewhere else, and when I say, it's really weird, Buzz Williams has never really done anything. Buzz Williams is Mark Turgeon with better PR. He's never accomplished anything as a coach. He's just it's not normally this. He doesn't bottom out typically. That's the best thing that you could say about Buzz Williams.
I remember this, and it's interesting to bring up Turgeon. Like, he's getting the last laugh now. Like, I don't remember this with him. I don't even remember this with that bald-headed goof.
Yeah, I mean, they both had some pretty bad years, but this is
Yeah, but no. But I don't remember this meaning this disconnect.
Oh, this disconnect. Turgeon was a bad cultural fit, but tried. Like Turgeon was
the
very.
kids put the thing in their hair.
Yeah, I mean those goofs. Turgeon was
cool,
Turgeon was a Midwestern guy with Midwestern
Turgeonites.
sensibilities,
Right.
And so he was always a little bit of an odd cultural fit here, but he did attempt.
And the first guy to replace Gary was always going to be.
There's always that too, no doubt.
Fart
no
anyway.
doubt.
Right.
But he did. I will give Mark Turgeon credit in comparison to Buzz Williams. Mark Turgeon did way more to attempt to bridge that gap. He didn't understand it, and unfortunately, that would come out sometimes where he would be very frustrated by. I don't understand why I'm not more beloved for just being the coach, which is a very Midwestern thing. In the Midwest, being the coach, or in the South, is like a heralded, we love you because you're the coach.
Dabo's the coach.
We live in, Barry is right. We live in a place where you don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Being the coach, okay, so you're the coach. What have you done?
Right.
Then we'll decide if we like you or not.
Right.
Like that's this region. That's who we are. We can't escape that. We are very practical in that way.
Well, there's also something about the basketball coach that's uniquely different, I think, than almost every sport. There is something about the basketball coach that the coach has the basketball coach has so many visible tentacles going on, right?
Every time there's a whistle, you cut right to the coach, and you
every
see
time
what
there's
he looks
a whistle,
like. You see what his reaction
every
is.
break, every play that's run. Well, we didn't run a good play there. Everything that's done in basketball goes to the coach, and they are under the microscope in a way that a lot of other coaches aren't. Like football coaches are under the microscope, but they're under the microscope way, way, way too deeply. Way too deeply.
Maybe.
In my opinion.
Maybe.
Basketball coaches are right there on the court, in the center of the action. It's happening right in front of them. They're making a call. Boom, right now. Got to change the defense, do this, do that.
This is the other comparison I would make between basketball and football coaches. In football, there's a quarterback, and the quarterback is really the most important. We know.
Sure.
He's There isn't that in basketball. You might have some teams have a predominant point guard, but there isn't a quarterback in basketball. The coach is the program. Period.
Right.
The coach defines the program. Everything the coach does. Curt Cignetti's a big deal, but Mendoza was the program this year.
100%.
This is the quarterback in football is the program. And with some rare examples in the past of teams that just had sort of mid quarterbacks and figured it out anyway. Greg McElroy at Alabama types of guys. Nick Saban was probably more powerful, and of course that's different. But in basketball, you don't have that. Even if you have a star player, the coach is the face of the program. And, of course, now, particularly in an era where they're all gone after 1 year. They're all here for a sneeze, and then they disappear. I guess
my point to all of that was it's unique that at Maryland we're jumping up and down and spitting nails about the basketball coach. We're not doing the same thing about the football coach.
Well, the people that care are. I mean, but there's just not that many people that care. That's part of the problem.
Because they don't win.
Well, yeah, there's that.
They were jumping up and down at Penn State.
That's true. And at Maryland,
they lost 3 games in a row.
One of the problems that I had was this notion that you looked at Buzz Williams' track record and said, well, if he did it at these other places, imagine what he could do at Maryland. And my answer would be Maryland is no better than any of those places. You believe that because 2 coaches in Maryland history really elevated Maryland as a program.
You're talking about basketball?
Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, because Brenda deserves that, too.
That's true. I don't disagree with that.
If Brenda left tomorrow, if her day ended tomorrow at Maryland, and she went to Texas A&M.
Yes, she'd elevate whatever program she was at. They would be better immediately because she was
there.
And
they would.
Yes.
They would buzz her around town, no pun intended.
No doubt, right.
And
yes,
Brenda Fries would walk around there like her, what didn't stink. And immediately people would be like, "Oh,
yeah, we got
I'm going to Texas A&M
100%.
basketball." We didn't do that with Buzz.
No, not at all.
Right. Now Brenda's different than Buzz too. I mean, Brenda Fries is a top 10. I don't know who they all are, but Brenda Fries is a top 10.
Yes, and she's done
name in college.
While she's only won one, she won one. Gary only won one. It's hard to win one. This thing where we pretend like it's just easy and you should win a bunch of them.
Brenda
it's hard
is
to
John
win.
Harbaugh. To me,
that's a fair.
I compare her to John Harbaugh.
That's a reasonable comparison.
Brenda Fries is an iconic Maryland figure.
I don't disagree with that.
That if she went, and just like John just did, they're They're doing backflips in New
100%,
York to
right.
get John Harbaugh.
Exactly.
We loaded up the
Said,
van
it's time to go,
and
right.
said,
Yep.
please leave.
Yep.
In New York, they think John is a
doubt.
godsend.
No doubt.
Same thing would happen for her if she went to Virginia Tech.
Yep. I don't think that Maryland elevates the coach. I think the coach has to elevate Maryland. I think that's proven. I think Gary Williams was able to elevate this place. I think Lefty Drizel was able to elevate this place.
Right,
they were great. All of them. All of them. I don't think it's a program that can elevate a coach. That if a coach is pretty good, and that it has to be an ascending coach. I don't think Buzz Williams is going to accomplish significant things at Maryland. I think they'll be better than this.
He's got to have some players.
Yeah, I think they'll be better than this.
Right.
But I don't think he's going to go win championships at Maryland because nothing about Buzz Williams suggests that he's that type of coach. And that's fine. He has to do a better job of ingratiating himself. And I just want to finish with this thought because everybody needs to hear this.
Is this your way, by the way, of telling me I'm not getting a bobblehead?
No idea.
Are we all going to get to that eventually?
We spent like 30 minutes on this. Buzz Williams ended that first statement that we played by saying, I don't know exactly what I should have done. I apologize for those that don't think they know me. And people reported that Buzz Williams apologized. And it's really important that we as a society, we've got to have this conversation. Buzz Williams did not apologize.
What would he have apologized for?
If he thinks he did something wrong.
Oh, God, right.
Buzz Williams said, I apologize for those that don't think they know me. You don't get to apologize for someone else. Do you know what the word apology means? Does anybody know what the definition of the word apology? Because we got to have a cultural conversation.
Let me see what you're mad about. Hold on.
Yeah.
I apologize because I can tell you're mad. I apologize.
I'm not mad at him.
Oh
no, I'm not mad.
Who are you mad at?
I'm mad at anybody that thinks that Buzz Williams apologized yesterday. That reported that he apologized. That tweeted out that he apologized. He didn't.
He said
I apologize for those that don't think they know me. Do you know what the word apology means? I'm asking. Does anybody know what the word apology means?
To express regret.
Yeah, sorrow.
Damn close.
Yeah, to express sorrow.
An effective apology is a sincere, voluntary expression of regret that accepts responsibility for actions. When you say, I'm sorry you feel that way, you are not apologizing. You're giving someone the middle finger. You get to apologize.
So you are mad at him?
No. He can do whatever he wants.
Okay. Who are you mad at?
I'm mad at there are people that are reporting that Buzz Williams apologized yesterday.
And he didn't apologize.
He did not apologize.
He gave
saying
the
word. Sort of, yes.
So we should be mad at him.
I'm not mad at him. He has the right to do that if he wants. If he thinks he's done nothing wrong, if you think I didn't wrong you in any way, then you have every right to say I don't think I wronged you. We don't get to say.
Okay, is there any way at all he worded that wrong?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
Everyone that wants to apologize, if you think you did something wrong, I'll give you a great example.
To those who don't know me.
No, I apologize for, or I apologize that I.
Okay, hold on.
I'm asking to involve the words.
I'm asking you if there's any way at all. What he was trying to say was, I apologize to those who don't know me.
I don't know what that.
I think this is the clip where he said it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
All of those people, but I have never said no unless it impacted what I needed to do on my job. So I apologize for those that don't think they know me or whoever these fans are.
It's definitely not an apology.
Happy to. I'm not hiding anything.
It's not an apology.
I don't think it's an apology either, but I don't. I'm going to push back on you a little because I don't know that he was giving people the middle finger there.
I don't know if he was intentionally.
I'm not
doing
so
that.
sure he knows exactly what he was saying. Play it again real quick. This is very interesting. Now
or
that you
Big Ten or media, I don't know all of those people, but I have never said no unless it impacted what I needed to do on my job. So I apologize for those that don't think they know me or whoever these fans are.
No,
I'm happy to. I'm not hiding anything.
you want to know what I honestly believe?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I don't know if he knows what he was trying to say.
Maybe that might be true.
I really don't.
That might be true.
He's,
but I know he knows he wasn't apologizing. This is what we do. What we do is we think what we think we're doing.
Right. He definitely isn't apologizing for being
at
disconnected.
At all.
What he is saying is, I'm really not disconnected. I'm not.
And if you think that, that's too bad.
And if you think I am, it's because you don't really know what I've got going on. And because you don't really know what I've got going on, I'm going to kind of apologize for you.
But that you don't get to apologize for somebody else.
So it does come back. Is that an Oriole? Or is that it's just a Robin?
It's got to be a Robin.
The Spring's here.
That's a Robin.
I'm just telling you, dog. They're not out until springtime.
I understand. Anyway.
We just pooped.
All right.
What's that mean? It's good luck in Haiti.
Is it?
I honestly don't know that Buzz knows exactly what he.
I think
Buzz got in his
that's
car
possible,
and said, "I don't know what I said."
I think that's
there.
also what we do. It's a defense mechanism. I'm going to make you think that I apologize because I'm going to say that word. I'm not apologizing at all.
Yeah, I don't think that was what
but
he was
I'm going to use that word to try to disengage you.
Okay.
You think I apologized. We got to talk about this as society, as a culture. If you wrong somebody, if you believe you wronged somebody.
Well, if Fonz couldn't say it.
It's true. That's a great point.
He was one of the coolest guys ever.
That's a great point.
He could never say, I'm sorry.
I dealt with this recently.
So sorry.
I'll tell the story publicly. Our friend, a lot of people pointed out, Femi wasn't with us for Project Game Day this season. We did a deal with Tyus Bowser, who has been with us for years, and we love him, and it just worked out that way. And legitimately, I screwed up. And I started doing the show and never called Femi. Never said, hey, buddy, we're going in a different direction. Not because you did anything wrong. I just needed to call him and say, hey, man, this is what's going on. I should have done that. And I bumped into Femi like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. And he looked at me, and I was like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. I never called Femi. And I said, Femi, I'm sorry. I screwed up.
I apologize for you.
I screwed up.
I apologize for you that you weren't good enough.
I made a mistake.
Right.
I needed to call you,
So
and
simple.
I didn't. I screwed up. I had to take accountability for my actions because I made a mistake. An apology is when you take accountabilities. I'm sorry I blank.
Right.
I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry I haven't done this. I'm sorry I. When you're doing the other thing, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry you feel that way.
So you are mad at Buzz at the end of the day.
No, you can do that. If you genuinely, if right now you came to me and said, Glenn, I'm pissed off that you haven't paid me in the last couple of weeks, and I said, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, I'd be telling you everything that you need to know. You're the asshole. I didn't tell you I'd pay you. I thought you were supposed to be paying me for letting you come in here. Like, I thought that was the way this worked.
Better talk to Stan.
Yeah, right? You have the right to do that, but don't misconstrue it. Don't say afterwards, well, I apologized.
Right.
You sure as F did not. You didn't apologize. Buzz has every right. If he thinks he hasn't done anything wrong, he doesn't need to apologize to anybody. But you don't get to say afterwards that he apologized, or if he says, hey, remember, I apologized to you guys. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Period. Apologies involve expression of regret and accountability, responsibility. He's telling you he didn't do anything wrong. You can decide how you want to feel about that.
Like, I'm sorry I came in here today with COVID.
But
Thank you.
But I know you were full of it. Like, you've never been sorry about that. Come back in.
But I do regret coming in here being this sick.
We haven't done anything today. We've done an hour of this. We
All
still have to
right.
get to Charles Davis. We still have
What?
to. Yeah. Well, he didn't want to talk to you.
Well,
Today's
I don't
show
like him
brought to you
anyway.
by County Sports.
Are we doing any
Zone.
golf stuff or not?
Not really. County Sports Zone is where you find everything you need to know about high school sports. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. We'll do a 2-minute version of Hanging on the Rim when we come back in.
Oh.
Maybe even a
Well, I
2-minute
gotta
shaved
pee.
ice. Maybe.
I gotta
We'll
pee.
see. Drew's here. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack, Costas is your place to go. Check out the website costasin.com for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now, and it's our annual Best of issue, celebrating the top people, performances, and moments of 2025 in local sports. On the cover, we recognize 4 of the most significant athletes of the year: Orioles pitcher Trevor Rogers, Navy quarterback Blake Horvath, Maryland basketball star Derek Queen, and our 2025 Mo Gabba Sports Person of the Year, Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland at Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR. Has anybody else gotten hurt since?
No, not that I've seen yet.
Good now? We've been all right for an hour. No further injuries. That would be good. All right, well.
Pete Alonso was taking some grounders at first.
There we go.
He's going to play first base, I think.
All right, we got that going for us. Yes. All right, you want to hit the button?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Oh. Mm-hmm. It's been kind of crazy. Brawl.
It's time for Hanging on the Rim. We're approaching All-Star Weekend in the NBA. Of course, Drew, you know that the All-Star game is in
Cleveland.
And he's right. You just gotta.
I know. I don't think I know.
You don't know, really? That's a random type of thing. It is in LA.
Do it.
100%.
Come on. And the weird part is no LeBron.
Well, that's not true. That's not true.
What?
What are you talking about?
I don't think LeBron's playing.
Well, I mean, okay. So LeBron was selected.
But I don't think he's playing.
I think you're right about that part.
Steph's not playing. Who else isn't playing? Nobody's playing.
It's not
Giannis
really an All-Star game. It's a joke.
Well, I mean, to be fair.
Wait, let me get to my segment.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. It's hang on. Hanging on the Rim is brought to you today by Live Casino and Hotel.
Sponsor.
They're giving away
$1
million in free play on Fridays in February.
What?
So win your share at Live Casino and Hotel in Hanover every Friday this month. $1 million total. You can win your share on every Friday of the month at Live Casino and Hotel.
All right. Same old suspects leading in the division, or leading the conferences. Detroit up by...
Detroit's the same old suspect?
Yeah, well, they were good last year.
They were good, yeah.
Right.
I mean, they were good. I don't know if I would call them same old suspects.
Okay, well, they're up 5 or 6 on the Celtics. And San Antonio climbing, getting closer to Oklahoma City now. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, that West is starting to tighten up a little bit. Oklahoma City in the lead. By the way, good news for those of you who are Wizards fans. The three of you. They are no longer.
Where are you getting the other two?
They are no longer the
brother,
worst.
obviously.
They're no longer the worst team in the NBA. They actually have the same amount of wins as Indiana, and things are looking up.
What I love is that Drew quickly, when he went to the bathroom, looked up the standings in the NBA. That's what he had.
I know who's who.
Went and looked at the
huge.
How do you prepare for the show? I don't know.
Yeah, I look at the NBA standings most days. Yes.
Huge
That's
brawl the other night.
Involving
Charlotte and
They just handed out all the.
and
I'm thinking because I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Charlotte. Who they
you
got
were
to fight
watching.
They just handed out all the
Charlotte
suspensions.
and Miami. Charlotte. And,
No.
Who was it? Charlotte and who?
It was a team you've already referenced in this segment.
It was Charlotte and somebody.
It was. That is true.
I don't remember.
Can you name the 4 players that that are suspended?
Can't name one.
Well, I know
Stop.
Bridges was one of them.
Oh,
for
all
sure.
right. That's-
I watched it.
You got
I
one.
just forget who they were playing.
They played the.
Pacers?
Nope.
Close.
Okay, I'm getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Detroit Pistons.
Oh, that figures.
Yeah.
They're always getting in big fights.
They do tend to do that, don't they?
They're always
They
getting in
tend
big
to
fights.
do
So
Somebody
anyway.
was handed a 7-game suspension.
Ooh.
That was.
Don't know.
Well, it was a Piston.
Probably Lambier.
There you
He's
go.
always in the
He
middle
does. He does,
He's always
bro.
in the middle of the hijinks.
Great point. Isaiah.
Thomas?
No, but did play for the Pistons. You got that going for you. Isaiah
King. Stevens. You got a stuttering problem or something? Stewart?
Stewart, yeah.
Couldn't tell you. It
7
was
games.
I'll tell you what.
There you go, 7 games.
It was a nasty fight.
It was. You're right about
It was
that.
a legit fight.
A Piston who's in the All-Star game also received a suspension.
Oh, well, so what happens then?
To be fair, I struggled with this one when Griffin was trying to get me to name the All-Stars.
What happened?
What Piston is in the All-Star game who suspended 2 games
could not
for his
tell
role?
you.
He gets suspended for the All-Star game? Though? Does
I
that
don't
count?
believe
Dave
it counts.
DeBuscher. I don't
Not
know.
Dave DeBuscher, but a great guess. Dave Bing. We could just keep doing Rick Mahorn.
Right.
You want to keep doing this? John Sally.
Oh, did DeBuscher play for them or the Knicks?
He played for the Knicks.
Okay.
Jalen. Jalen.
Hurts?
No, not quite.
I
Jalen
couldn't tell you.
went
King?
to Memphis.
King?
No.
I just guess everybody's last name
Yeah.
is King. Richardson.
Jalen Duran. Jalen Duran.
Right.
These are Isaiah Stewart's
This was
brawl
a nasty
highlights.
It was a nasty fight, man.
Got it. They mixed it up. All right. What else you got?
That's pretty much it for the.
Who you like in the 3-point contest?
Oh.
Name the slam dunk.
Oh, I don't even know.
I'll take
I
Chris
genuinely
Middleton.
don't
Chris
know.
Middleton.
You'll take Chris Middleton.
I didn't recognize
in the
a
3-point.
single. Maybe I recognize one. I don't know. I didn't recognize a single dunk contest.
The NBA is the worst league.
I wouldn't. If I were you, I wouldn't bet on Chris Middleton in the
The
3-point
NBA
contest.
is the worst professional sports league in the world. It's the worst professional sports league in the world.
Finish your thought.
Okay, I know 2 of them. in
No.
the dunk contest.
Okay, who's in the dunk contest? I genuinely don't know.
I'll tell you who's going to win.
Carter Bryant.
Nope.
He plays for
Yeah.
the Spurs.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Kashad Johnson.
He's got a chance.
He plays for the Heat.
He's
If-
plus
if you
325.
Say so.
Jace Richardson.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he
I
played-
do
he
know
played-
Jason
yeah, he played
Richardson,
at Michigan
but
State.
only because he's Jason Richardson's son.
Right. He's on the Magic.
If you say so.
And then Jackson Hayes, who was a Laker.
Oh, I do know Jackson Hayes. He's actually
he
played.
is
Is he related to Sean Hayes?
No. No, but Sean Hayes was a hell of an actor.
Oh, he's the best.
The
What about when
3-point
he and
contest
Jimmy Fallon
is,
did the when they did the
just hanging on the rim.
when they did the Saturday Night Live skit where they were at the alternative clothing store in California.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. The 3-point contest: Devin Booker, Con Knipple, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby Portis, and Norman Powell. So some actual stars in the 3-point contest. All right, I think that was exactly what you're going to get from hanging on the rim.
My brother's at the Seahawks parade. He wants to know if Drew's Morning Dish wants him to do anything.
Oh, give us a picture.
Give us a picture.
Give us a picture of the parade.
Okay.
Real quick before we move on to hockey, there was another basketball. Did you watch Purdue Nebraska last night?
No, but who won?
Wow, Did you miss the end of Purdue Nebraska?
I did.
It was a hell of a moment.
Nebraska was pretty good.
Nebraska was very
turning
good.
it off at one point. I mean,
Imagine this scenario, right?
Okay.
Like, because Nebraska, they're losing their minds there.
Please
right?
tell me there's not a
Like,
bad
they're-
beat involved.
So, no, an incredible end of game.
Okay.
Incredible sequence at the end of the game.
77-78.
So,
Okay.
77-78 at the end of the game. Nebraska's got the ball, 4 seconds left.
Okay.
Place. I mean, look at that
right.
place.
I mean, it's
like,
very-
that place is going to go
Okay.
bonkers. And Nebraska's got the ball. Let's watch them go win the game on courtesy of Fox
Don't
Sports.
tell me he misses a layup.
Back screen and go. Hoiberg looking. In it comes to Lawrence, who slips down. Scooped up by Harris, and a foul is given.
What a shame.
Jamarcus, and there's another slip when Hoiberg went over to help it.
You know, that's the timeout area. Guys perspire. And just that top end as they get to the bench. That is unbelievable.
And right there, that's right where everybody was standing. In the
Game of the year, high drama.
You're laughing. Some of us
One
won
point.
Nebraska.
Yeah, I get it. 1 point game with 4 seconds left. I can't believe the theater we're about to see, and that's what happened.
That's terrible.
It's wretched. It's wretched. Well, it depends on how you bet. I understand.
Alonzo Mourning, right?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean,
Oh God, that's awful.
Jeez.
All right, we got it.
well, we're on a break here, hockey break. You
You
want
won.
to do a mid-season?
Sorry.
I mean, we haven't done shaved ice yet this season.
Ooh, I love this music.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
Which game?
Yeah.
Hockey. U.S. Canada, right?
Unnerved by how, the U.S. won 5-0, and it wasn't that close.
The U.S. women are going to win easily.
I'm unnerved by
I
how.
think the men are going to win too.
I don't know.
I'm worried that this is going to piss off the men's team.
I'm more worried that like they're going to face Canada again in the gold
The
medal
women are
game.
going to be a
and
different team.
100%. Like they also didn't have their best player yesterday, but like they got. That's as much of a skull dragging as I've ever seen in a hockey
Well,
game.
it would be nice if the U.S. men did something. They've never won a hockey gold medal.
Well, that's not true. That's not
have?
actually true. They've won 2, in fact.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember those.
That's weird. I'm pretty sure one in particular is pretty
All right.
memorable.
Hockey.
Have you watched the documentary yet?
I have not.
It's good.
I know.
It's really good. Really good.
Well, here we are, mid-season, little break. Cap's not back in action until like February 25, I think. Colorado has come back to the pack a little bit. They've cooled off. The East is going to be crazy. Boston has really surged here of late. I don't know what's going to happen with the Caps. I'm holding out hope, but I got a bad feeling they might not make it. But they've helped themselves here at that little 4-game, winning 4 out of 5, even though they lost up there in Philly. Philly worries me too. They're much better. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Wow. Do I need to clip that?
Yeah, no, please, I got to call. Edmonton's struggling. Edmonton might not make the playoffs. How crazy would that be if Edmonton doesn't make it? Florida's kind of struggling. The East is crazy.
Winnipeg's been bad, right? Like,
Winnipeg's, yeah, thanks a lot, Kyle Connor. Punch you right in the face the next time I see you.
Wow.
And Tage Thompson, both of you. I think the East is a total coin flip. Like, I could see anybody coming out of the East. I think the West is still Colorado's to win.
All right, this is dynamite. Very good. That's just naming teams.
I think Detroit's a sleeper.
Just naming teams.
I think Detroit's a sleeper.
Why? I guess
Goal scorers. They got a lot of guys.
Okay,
that score goals.
nobody cares. Is the U.S. going to win gold medal or not?
Yes. Yes, in hockey.
Why are you so confident?
They have guys who can score.
Okay.
the Chuckses.
They're gonna. I do. I think they're gonna beat Canada. They're gonna come down to those two.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's normally the way it works. It's normally the way it goes. Anything else?
They played it tomorrow.
I really like Jake.
Tomorrow is their
I
first
like
game.
Jake Knapp this week on the tour.
Oh,
PGA
there you go.
Tour.
That's what you got. Jake Knapp. That's
you
Drew.
hear the music? That's not
Drew. Yeah, that's what Drew has to offer. What is this week? This is Pebble Beach?
Yeah, Pebble
This week.
Beach. Who is this?
Very good.
7-0.
All right. I don't know why we did that. That's a mistake. I apologize.
You said you were only
You
doing
wanted
one.
to do basketball and hockey.
He just wasn't ready.
My
He just
fault.
wasn't prepared.
My fault. He just named some teams.
Are you apologizing? Is that what
I mean, I'm definitely apologizing. This is on me. That's on me.
Do you know how to do it?
Like, I'm sorry I allowed for that segment to happen.
There you go. You have regret?
I'm sorry.
Do you have regret?
I take full accountability for that segment. All right. What's your world? What are you doing?
Not much. Everything's good.
All right.
Yeah. Everything's good. Just getting ready here, getting fired up for golf season.
When's that start?
It started, but all we're doing is going to Golf Galaxy.
When do you play a game or a
March
match?
11 is our first non-conference. March 23rd is our first conference.
And then what about the video games? When do you guys do that?
We don't do the indoor golf. We haven't been invited.
No?
No.
The guy had a hole-in-one the other night.
Shipley.
That was amazing.
That was pretty cool.
Was it actually a hole-in-one? I have no idea.
Yeah. That was a hole-in-one.
On a video game,
But it was a hole-in-one. I don't think he's going to count it in his career. But
no,
it was
doesn't
a hole-in-one.
count as a hole-in-one, for Christ's sakes.
But it's a hole-in-one.
Does he still have to buy everybody beer afterwards?
Probably.
That sucks. For a video game hole-in-one, that sucks.
Probably got $100,000 to play.
Right? That sucks. All right, you got anything else?
Not much. Right. I just want my bobblehead.
Come back in. We'll get a tidbit. We'll get tubular. And then Charles Davis is going to join us to wrap things
Overrated.
up. Glenn Clark Radio. Get in the game with Volo Sports. With over 15 sports to choose from, join a league or grab a Volo membership for discounted play, free daily pickups, fitness classes, and exclusive events. But the best part? A portion of every league fee helps the Volo Kids Foundation provide free sports to over 5,000 kids across Baltimore City each year. Don't miss out. Early pricing for the winter season ends December 12th. Final registration deadline is January 15th. Sign up now at volosports.com/Baltimore.
At Live, we want to say thanks to our community with our biggest giveaway yet. Thanks a Million free slot play giveaway. Join us every Friday in February for your chance to win a share of $1 million in free play, including a grand prize of $75,000 in free play. You could be one of 25 winners each week. So what are you waiting for? Thanks a Million, only at Live Casino and Hotel Maryland. At Arundel Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The weather's getting cooler, so when you and your family are picking out a place to dine, be it lunch or dinner, let's make it nice and easy. Now, with 2 great locations, the Costas Inn remains your #1 destination. Whether you want to get steamed crabs and the full Costas menu out at the original location at 4100 North Point Boulevard, or sample the complete menu minus the steamed crabs at the new location above the grandstand at the Timonium Racetrack. Costas is your place to go. Check out the website CostasInn.com for a look at the menu, and if you want to plan that crab feast, call 410-477-1975. The Costas Inn.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
Back in here on GCR as we wind things down for a Would You Rather Wednesday edition. I don't know what time it is.
What time's it airing?
Oh, it's not going to air. That's also to be determined. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
I'll let you know. Drew Forrester, Drew'sMorningDish.com, stopping by. Good to see him. And he didn't even break down his thoughts on the. We didn't even have him break down the trades. Like we haven't even.
Oh, NBA trade deadline? Yeah, you're right. I know. I was going to say Wizards fans are excited. They've got 2 new All-Stars.
Yeah, sure. Something like that.
Former NBA champion. Finally,
Apparently,
some winning culture maybe coming to the
Mark Titus's show believes they found a video of a fan throwing a beer onto the court at the Nebraska game.
So I thought everyone was pointing out that that Purdue, that was where Purdue huddled up, and they were presumably drinking water, and then they just didn't mop it up after.
Possible as well. But somebody, their account, what is that show called? That's it's Barstool. What is that?
Mostly Sports.
Mostly Sports. Right? Tweeted out something.
I didn't know that. I looked it up. I don't want people to think I watch this show all the time.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. Right. That's a weird show.
Is it?
Oh, it's Titus's show? Okay, I'm thinking of the Big Cat show.
What's Big Cat show? I thought that's the Pardon My Take, right?
Yeah, Pardon My Take.
What's wrong with Pardon My Take? It seems like a very popular show.
I consume Glenn Clark Radio.
Is that so? Unlike, we had a producer here that was a big Le Batard fan and nothing else. Kyle did not give a rat's ass about anything we did, but he loved Le Batard. Every day he wanted to tell me about what was going on with Le Batard. Thanks, buddy. Maybe we'll do
I should do that.
The recap
Not
show.
necessarily Le Batard, but
so weird. I have no problem if people listen to shows.
I don't know. I can't find it. Who would have shared it? Titus himself?
I don't remember. Hang on.
Mr. Titus?
No, I think their show.
Oh, his hoop show. His hoop show. Apparently he's got two different shows.
Oh, is it? I don't know. Dude, I know nothing, man.
You brought it up.
Well, search the word Slipgate.
Slipgate. Hold on, they post a lot.
Mostly,
wait.
mostly hoops.
Mostly
hoops with Mark Titus. That's the show. Yes, mostly hoops with Mark Titus. Breaking news on Slipgate. Footage has been uncovered of a Nebraska fan launching a beer at Purdue's bench.
All right. Here we go. This is. Whoa. Yeah. And this happened. They're saying this happened right before.
That's the suggestion. Now, is it? I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the suggestion of what happened. Now, you would think that if somebody on the floor had to have seen that, they would have cleaned it up, right?
Well, I think that's why everyone wants to blame the mop boy.
Well, I think the mop guy is. There's not going to be another game for the mop guy. This is going to be it for the mop guy. Poor fella. Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. If you missed Stan and Josh Lewin earlier this week, back with the Orioles broadcast crew this season. You can find it right now, facebook.com/PressBoxSports, youtube.com/PressBoxOnline, or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, Stan's show is brought to you by the Costas Inn, with two great locations, the OG in Dundalk and the new one at the Grandstand in Timonium.
Drew surely would have brought this up if he wasn't cut for time, obviously, during hanging on the rim. Victor Wembanyama had a pretty good game last night. He scored 25 points in the first quarter, finished with 40 because they didn't need him to play more than 26 minutes, but he scored 40 points in 26 minutes. Fewest minutes played by an NBA player in a 40-point game since
LeBron, I don't know.
February 1991.
Michael Jordan.
Of course, in 24 minutes, he scored 40. Houston's
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Sleepy Floyd.
Oh, hey, he actually would have made that. Would have tickled Drew because then he could have done the whole Francesa bit. That's a shame.
First or shortest amount of time, fewest minutes played in a 40-point game since Sleepy Floyd for Wemby last night. And I've got a football one for us. Cooper Kupp became the fourth NFL player to have to win two or more Super Bowls, and also lead the NFL lead the NFL in receiving yards in a season.
So 2 or more Super Bowls and a receiving title.
Correct.
At some point.
Yes.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice is on there. Yeah.
How many are there?
There are 4 total. So Kupp, Rice, 2 others.
Who else won 2 or more Super Bowls and led the league in receiving? How about... That's a good one.
Thanks.
I
guess I should credit Dante, our guy, NFL research guy, Dante Koplowitz Fleming.
Okay.
Dante Kopp Flem. That's what we'll call him.
How about... this is the problem is that, the Patriots probably didn't have one. Unless Gronk led the league in receiving one year, and I doubt that. Gronk.
No.
Asshole.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah. I knew I was right. I knew I was right. Antonio Brown did not win 2 Super Bowls. God, man.
Or he got credit for the Tampa one? Did he?
He was on that team, was he?
It's not Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I know it's not because he didn't win 2.
I guess so. That was the 2020. When did he walk? I guess the following year. That's when he walked off. Yeah. I guess it was.
Isaac Bruce only won 1, right? God, this is good. 2 or more Super Bowls. Art Monk.
Not Art Monk. The other 2 are, as is Jerry Rice, all Hall of Famers. Which I don't know. I guess that maybe helps, maybe doesn't help. But.
Man, this is brutal. How about? I mean, I think we have to go back a ways.
Yes.
Drew Pearson.
No. Both spent their whole careers with one franchise.
Both spent their whole careers with one franchise.
Both pre-millennium.
Both Fred Biletnikoff.
No, not that far back.
Both pre-millennium spent their whole careers with one franchise. Now I'm wondering if it's somebody that like Reggie Wayne didn't win a second Super Bowl.
You've got the right franchise.
Won 2 Super Bowls. Played his entire career with the Colts.
No, sorry. I was talking about Biletnikoff. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Who's another Raiders receiver that would have won 2 Super Bowls?
1972 draft out of Colorado. Yeah, no, it might not help.
Cliff Branch?
Cliff Branch.
Okay.
Cooper Kupp, Cliff Branch, Jerry Rice, one other. Also spent his whole career in one place. 3-time Super Bowl champion.
3-time Super Bowl champion. Whole career in one place. 3-time Super Bowl champion. 3-time Super Bowl champion. God damn.
First-round pick out of Miami, Florida.
First-round pick out of Miami. It wasn't Michael Irvin.
It was Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin won? Okay.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
Well, that part I got. I didn't think he ever won a receiving title.
1991.
Really?
Yep.
All right, very good. Here's what's coming up tubular-wise. Tubular is brought to you by the print issue of Press Box. Final days for the best of issue. Get out and pick it up for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores or anywhere around town where you find Press Box. You can always read it at PressBoxOnline.com. Here's what's coming up this afternoon. USA men's curling. Yeah, heartbreak yesterday. Oh, God, it was heartbreaking for the mixed doubles team of Corey and Corey settling for the silver. That sucked. Men's curling plays their first match of the Olympics. They take on Czechia at 1:05 on Peacock. Maryland hosts Iowa tonight at 6 on FS1. Loyola's at Lafayette at 7 on ESPN+. And Loyola and Hopkins women's lacrosse at 4 o'clock over at Hopkins. Bummer for Towson lacrosse.
We had the highlight of the game, I guess. Huh?
Played a hell of a 3 quarters and then just forgot how to score on the 4th and lost at Hopkins yesterday. But that's good news.
That always happens.
If you're a Hopkins fan, you're very happy about it.
That's what always happens at Homewood.
They don't win at Homewood. That's a fact. They do not win there. It's very weird. Everything else, GlennClarkRadio.com. Anything non-sports?
Just not. Love Is Blind season 10 on Netflix. I know you're excited.
Sure. By the way, I brought up the other day how I guess the networks are just taking off, and somebody said, yeah, because it's the Olympics, and I was like, they're not live. They're taking off to watch.
Well, they're doing the Survivor thing on CBS.
I don't like that my dad's calling me. I don't like
really? That. Okay. Well, this will make you feel better. We got a book club right here for you.
Okay.
I don't know if that maybe. Called The Scream Murder, a true teen horror story on Hulu.
So you were aware of a tape. Did you?
We were told that there was a videotape. Yes.
Time is 9:50, September 22nd, 2006.
The video will never make sense to me, and I will never understand where it came from.
There should be no laws against killing people.
Friends don't kill friends.
Hello, Cassie. I'm getting you on tape, okay?
Just something that you cannot unsee.
The crime was committed in a house out in the middle of nowhere.
She's gonna be alone in a big, dark house. How perfect can you get?
There was blood spatter. She was stabbed to death.
And then we found evidence that's gonna help us solve this crime.
Bloody clothing, knives, scary Halloween masks.
I don't know what to make of any of this. This is wild.
Yeah, apparently two high schoolers, they premeditated this whole thing, and there were other victims that they're planning on, and they
I don't know how I
filmed it
feel
all.
about that.
Yeah, so basically they documented them planning and then killing this girl.
It's terrible.
And it was inspired by the movie Scream, so that was why they call it this Scream murder. Yeah, so that is on Hulu.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, very good. That was pleasant. Thanks today
to the Olympics.
Yeah, all right. Thanks to Drew. Thanks to Saylor Poffenbarger, and thanks to Charles Davis, who you're about to hear from. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the
Kimmel's going to have Nick Kroll and Wunmi Mosaku.
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com.
She was the woman in Sinners.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure. Tomorrow on the program, I know Patrick will be back with us. We'll talk some hoops, talk some lacrosse with him, and stuff and things on a Thursday edition of GCR. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Leading Edge Auto Body, Volo Sports, Nick's Fish House, Live Casino and Hotel, Costas Inn, 1-800-GAMBLER, HelpMyGamblingProblem.org, the Baltimore Area High's Dairy Stores, CountySports.zone, your local Toyota dealer, and BuyAToyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Maryland. Go Loyola. Go USA Curling. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. I had to do it a bit earlier on, but an opportunity to talk some Ravens, talk some draft with one of our favorites, man you know from both CBS and NFL Network, the great Charles Davis, who is with us as soon as Griffin has it prepared on GCR. Well, I'd, of course, talk to our next about anything at all. He, of course, you watch him during the year on CBS, and then you saw him doing the Senior Bowl for NFL Network. I know he'll be doing some more draft as we get closer. He is our friend Charles Davis, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Charles, it's Glenn. It's always great to catch up with you. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Hey, thanks for having me, Glenn. Always great to talk with you.
Hey, before we get into draft and all of that, I want to get your sense, because you've done so many Ravens games over the years. The decision to move on from John Harbaugh and to bring in Jesse Minter, who feels so similar to Mike Macdonald, obviously, and we've seen what Mike Macdonald has done. But what did you make of the decision, obviously, one, to move on from John, and then for Jesse Minter to be the guy to replace him?
Yeah, the first thing is something I try to keep in mind all the time, that we cover this and we do our best to have information and all these great things. But at the end of the day, and those people who go behind those doors each and every day have way more information than we do, right? They see interactions, they see how things go, all of that. The person who signs the checks, they have the right to make any move they want to make because it's their team, it's their thing. I think on the surface, you always worry, wow, we know what we have in hand. We know what we usually get done with this. They came within a field goal of going back to the playoffs after a horrific start and a ton of injuries and yada, yada, yada. But there was also the element of we just didn't get over the hump. And I think John Gruden has probably become the patron saint of that. Hey, Tony Dungy's done a magnificent job turning Tampa Bay into a heck of a team year in and year out, but they just couldn't get to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They fired Tony Dungy despite the fact he's a winner. You remember the defensive guys going to his house, crying, missing him. Gruden comes in, they win the Super Bowl. Wow. Okay? So a lot of owners, if you were around or even if you weren't, people talk about that. Hey, sometimes you have to take that next move. Glenn, you and I have seen it in college for so many years.
Yep.
Indiana's a juggernaut now under Frank Signetti, but for years they were Indiana, right? And then they had Bill Mallory there, and Bill would win 7, 8, sometimes 9 games, right? They became a consistent bowl team, right? And what did the people in Indiana say? There's got to be the next step. He just can't get us to the next step. They fire him. Cam Cameron comes in. They go 1-10. I mean,
took a minute. Yeah.
Right. So sometimes you got to be careful of that. It's understandable in a lot of ways from the outside in that you would hold pat, because I think Buffalo would be your fellow team this year. They would have the same thing. They're firing Sean McDermott. But if they believe the next step is there and someone else has to provide it, that's why they take those opportunities and they go. And as I keep saying, behind closed doors, they typically have more information than I do. I would tell you, from the outside in, I probably one was like, I don't know why you're firing John Harbaugh, but hey, if you think this is a thing, that's up to you. Same thing with Sean McDermott, but I probably feel stronger about McDermott than I do about John. Just because Steve Bisciotti has stuck with him for so many years prior. How many years in a row did they go without making the playoffs, yet he's remained the head coach?
Fair. So,
remember that one? What was it, like a 4-year stretch, Glenn, or something like that?
In the end of the Joe Flacco era, yep, correct. From 15, 16,
and
17.
And in most places, most places he never would have lasted that long. So I think it was a fair run, and I can see why. Again, hey, if that's what he feels as an owner, I'm not one to question that one. Buffalo, I have a few more questions about, but that's just me.
The Minter side of it, right? Like committing to, again, the parallel to Mike McDonald is like almost overwhelming with Jesse Minter,
makes sense.
right?
Like, makes sense.
Committing to it being the defensive side of the ball. I know a lot of people say, hey, I'd always preferred to be an offensive guy, but watching what the Seahawks just did, do you feel like, kind of trying to chase your own Mike McDonald makes sense for the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, it certainly does, because that's familiar and it's proven to them. Remember, Mike McDonald was in there with the franchise and essentially farmed out for a year, right, to Michigan to gain more seasoning, quote unquote, right, and then brought back into the fold and then became a head coach in the NFL. I'm not sure exactly that was, the absolute, what they were thinking, but it kind of played out that way, didn't it? Played out pretty well. And by the way, his counterpart in the Super Bowl, Mike Vrabel, he's a defensive guy too. The Seattle Seahawks follow a defensive guy in Pete Carroll with a defensive guy in Mike McDonald, and both have had success. Both now have Super Bowl trophies. So I'm never really caught up on the offensive-defensive side, Glenn. I know it's a copycat league, and it does happen that way. And, and if at one point, if you had met Sean McVay at a cocktail party, you were going to get an interview to be a head coach. I know how this league works, right? That's how it goes. I think that where the owners, in a lot of cases, miss who commands a room, who commands the respect of a team, who can galvanize a team, put them all together and turn them loose, who can be one side of the ball or the other but have a relationship with that quarterback and make that person play better. In this Super Bowl, Mike McDonald, great relationship with his quarterback, Sam Darnold. Mike Vrabel, great relationship with his quarterback, Drake May. Both of them defensive guys. But both of them incredible leaders of people. So that's what I'm looking for in a head coach. I think Jesse, great chops, great background, young, enthusiastic, all the things you're going to want. But also, one of the things about when you take over young as a coordinator, you get challenged in ways that people don't know, Glenn.
Yeah.
You get challenged within your own staff because those old heads on your staff are looking at you like, are you serious? This young whippersnapper going to be my coordinator? Why didn't I get the job? All those things come into play, whether people want to admit it or not. It's like watching Moneyball when they're sitting around talking about, players, and it's all those old scouts, and they come up with their bromides, He's got an ugly girlfriend, means he's got no confidence, that sort of stuff, right? But when it's a young coordinator and you're looking at veteran coaches around that table, you have to prove yourself to them as well as your team. And Jesse Minter's done that quite well along the way. It's not something people think about very often, Glenn. Trust me, it's real. Okay? I was lucky enough to take over in some positions, some leadership positions at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And you get challenged big time by people within. And the challenges are overt and covert. Okay? So you got to keep your head on a swivel and your eyes open at all times.
I wanted one more just on the staff for the Ravens, Charles, and that's the idea of pairing a first-time head coach in Jesse Minter with a first-time offensive play caller in Declan Doyle. Do you have any concerns about, for a team whose stated goal is to win the Super Bowl, right, immediately? There's a reason why they fired John Harbaugh. Is that too much to ask of such a young, experienced group? Or is this just the new NFL where that doesn't matter as much as maybe it mattered in the past?
It always matters, but if you believe that person's capable, sometimes you just can't wait and go. John Gruden was an offense coordinator in the NFL in his 20s, right? Late 20s. We saw McVay took over as a head coach. What is he, still the second or third youngest coach in the NFL?
Incredible,
He's been a head coach
It's
10
incredible.
years. He's been a head coach 10 years now. We can go all the way back at different times, different places, and sometimes it doesn't work. I'm not going to sit here and act like every one of them's a stroke of genius. But the next question I would have is, who else is on the staff? Because just like a baseball manager, you always hear about the bench coach, that person who is the right hand of the manager and who bounces everything off of them. And you've noticed if it's in baseball and it's a young manager, that bench coach is almost always a guy who still chews tobacco. You know what I mean? And that you can bounce off of and guide you and do those sorts of things. I'm eager to see who's around.
I was going to say, does it need to be a former I think about obviously Mike McDonald having Leslie Frazier on his staff, right? Huge. And my dumb guy take, Charles, my stupid sports radio host take is, it feels like, given the lack of experience in the youth, that it needs to be a former head coach on the staff, which to this point they haven't added. But Anthony Weaver has lots of experience, has been an assistant head coach. Joe Lombardi obviously has been a coordinator and is on the staff. Does it need to be is it important to have a former head coach, or again, is that just my dumb guy sports radio take?
It's not dumb guy sports radio take at all. It doesn't have to have. You don't have to say, "Hey, are you a former head coach?" But are you an experienced coach? Have you been through the fires before? Have you been around? Look, before Tom Moore finally retired at the age of 408, right, in Tampa Bay, okay? He had been around forever, right? And everybody wanted Tom Moore on their staff. You wanted a Tom Moore, okay? Someone you could bounce stuff off of and get quick, easy answers because he's seen it all, done it all. Tom Moore was never a head coach in the league. So you don't have to have a head coach. You got someone with the experience, with the juice, who's done it before, who will keep you from panicking under pressure, who, if you walk in their office at midnight and go, "Oh my God, this is hey. I remember the time, and here's what we can do." You see what I mean? That's what you're looking for. And the guys that you're naming have done all of those things.
All right, Charles Davis with us here on GCR. I think the Ravens' biggest area of need, and we can talk about the guard position, and I do think that I don't think they can come into next year and just assume that both Faalele and Voorhees are their guards. But I still think that we've been talking about it for years, that at some point they have to address edge rush. Like, it can't just be, let's hope Mike Green becomes the guy, although I get it. That's probably part of the reason why Jesse Minter is here, is the hope that you can get more out of a guy like Mike Green. But I'm going to start, because I know you didn't have him at the Senior Bowl, but why is it that Ruben Bain isn't considered? Like, we just watched that guy wreck during the playoff run. Why is he not an obvious top 5 type of guy, and why could he be someone that could be in play to drop around to the area of 10? And let's talk about maybe the Ravens moving up to go get him.
If you stood him next to Myles Garrett, who is your prototype, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Myles Garrett and you're like, yeah, someone chiseled me an edge rusher. Bain's not going to compare to that. Okay? And I'm not saying every great rusher looks like, heck, Elmas Dumerville broke every rule going, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
And was a fantastic edge rusher, right? Like, too short arm, too this, too that. Every negative you wanted, you could make a case for not having him on your team or drafting him. But guess what? When it's time to play, he produced.
Player, no doubt.
That's what you're looking for. Bain is in the same type of a situation. I think when we get to the combine and all that, we start measuring, you're going to start hearing about shorter arms, which is a huge topic of discussion right now with poor Will Campbell, the left tackle for New England. But, that was a top conversation in the combine. You and I talked about it last year. Is Will Campbell going to be a tackle, or is he going to have to move inside the guard? Right? It was immediate discussion. Right now, that's raging in the New England area, as we know. But that doesn't mean he still can't be a good tackle. He had stretches this year where he played really well. Ever since he came back from injury, it's been a struggle for him. I'm wondering how much that injury bothered him, et cetera, et cetera. We can go on from there. But that's a reason I would think that you're not just sitting there and saying Bain right at the top, because he doesn't look like Jadeveon Clowney, right? He doesn't look like Myles Garrett. Something like those guys with those incredible gifts, right? That just go, oh my God, got to have that guy. You remember the combine when Clowney ran what 4.63?
Yeah, for me,
he might as well have finished, hit that exit door at the end of the 40-yard runway, and disappeared into the night because it was over. It was a wrap right there. Now, how about his career? Never got to double-digit sacks in a season. And the unfortunate part was he was a good football player.
Right, but he just didn't live to that. I understand what you're saying. He didn't really live to the.
He didn't live up to the number one. If you're the number one overall pick, you should retire with multiple years of double-digit sacks. I'm sorry, you just should. That's why you were picked. I think he got to 9.5 once or twice. I think he got there twice. But he was an incredible edge run defender. But guess what? They don't pay you to be an incredible edge run defender.
No, I get it.
The public doesn't exalt you for that. So that's what you're looking for. Now, Bain's run through the playoff, that was pretty tremendous. So was Mesidor's, his opposite number, who I think may have played himself into a first-round pick.
Interesting.
But if you're asking why they're not cemented at the top, that would be my initial thinking, is measurements and other things may come into play. And scouts always say the same thing. Glenn, how many times you talk to a scouter or GM or a personnel person, and they talk in comps of people? Hey, Glenn Clark.
Yeah.
Well, he reminds me of.
Yeah.
I don't know that Bain reminds anyone of those guys we mentioned.
The guys that were there in Mobile, if I could start with, because he's a Baltimore native, I don't think he's top half of the first round, but Derek Moore has really been nothing but a playmaker the entire time he's been at Michigan, and I know played a little more inside to start, but then moved outside. Yeah. Is Derek Moore an impact NFL edge rusher?
I think he's got a chance to be one, and I think that if I remember correctly from my research, numbers really weren't there until this year.
Yeah, not like that, right?
Not like that, right? And this past year, and to your point, some of it was where he was playing, some of it is what you're asked to do on defense. Numbers aren't the be-all, end-all, but I always look for him to see what the production is. Because I keep coming back to Chop Robinson at Penn State. People just kept going bonkers, right? To date, I kept saying, well, if he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, how does he only have 4.5 sacks in the college game? I mean, he can't be getting chipped by 5 people every play now. What's the deal? And everybody just kept, oh, no, he's this, he's this, he's this. I don't think he's lived up to it so far, okay, in 2 seasons now, all right? Adafe Owe.
Yep.
Remember when he came out? He had 0 sacks the senior year.
None.
And I was like, whoa, okay. He didn't even stumble into one? Like, nothing? And he was a good player for Baltimore. The weird part was, going back to Jesse Minter, the first game he played for the Chargers, my crew was lucky enough to do that game. I think he had 2 sacks right out of the gate. So maybe Jesse Minter knew how to bring it out. I don't know. So maybe that bodes well for people in Baltimore. But Derek Moore had a great Senior Bowl week, and he had a really good last season at Michigan. I think he's a guy, I'm not sure, that, as you said, that he's going to be top of the first round, but he's a really good player, and I think he's done nothing but increase the momentum for himself as he moves forward. Had a really good week in Mobile.
Someone who does look like they could be in that area of the draft is T.J. Parker from Clemson. Is he an immediate day one impact type of edge rusher?
In 2024, you would have said yes. In 2025, he had 2 sacks going into the last game of the regular season, then got 3 against South Carolina to get himself to 5. Once again, numbers aren't everything. But I'm gonna be watching tape and asking a lot of questions. Why such a loss in production? Was the blocking kick so hard towards him that he just couldn't make plays? Like, you got to ask. That's what all the scouts are going to be doing. They're going to be very thorough about it. We have a decent number of guys who had better years in 24 than they did in 25. They're going to have to answer some questions. But T.J. Parker has that look. He looks like a heck of a player. He's, I think he had a good week, Senior Bowl week, during the time that he was there. But again, I'm, this is my own personal bias. Why such a drop in production? Right. What happened?
Right.
Was the team, did the whole thing at Clemson infect him too, where his production went down? I just want to know what happened there, and maybe I'll get an answer that satisfies me. I don't know. But he does have that look. The only thing is, I was actually talking with a scout recently, and you know how it gets, Glenn. Some things you just can't get out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Vic Beasley coming out of Clemson.
Oh, wow.
That monster year with Atlanta, you remember, was like 14.5 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, the whole thing. That may have been the last play he made in the NFL.
Great point. God, I hadn't thought about Vic Beasley in a minute, Charles. God, that's a great comparison.
And I'm telling you, this scout was like, I know I shouldn't bring it up, but I'm going to tell you something. That Vic Beasley thing really scarred me there.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But the thing was, Vic Beasley didn't love football. You got to find TJ Parker loves football, which I'm betting he loves football more than Vic Beasley did, because Vic just didn't love football. He was just gifted. That's what it was. What he was.
Anyone else that you saw down there? And again, I don't think any of them are top half, where the Ravens are picking types of picks, but guys that maybe in later rounds. I know Zion Young was someone.
Zion Young was good at coming out of Missouri. Another player, 6'5", 260 something. I think he's going to be a good player for people coming off the edge. I thought he had a really good week. There's a kid that, when you start molding the clay, Kieran Crawford came out of high school, more of a basketball kid. I think 1 year of high school football. I think it's all out there ahead of him now. Numbers aren't going to jump off the charts, but the gifts are. Gabe Akis, from Illinois, another defensive end, edge rusher, did a nice job during the week. TJ Parker, you mentioned. The guy who gets overlooked had a monster year. Go up and go punch in the numbers, punch in some tape, Glenn. Nadeem Tucker, Western Michigan. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him because he's not quite 6'2". Okay, he's 6'0", 246, hand nine, the whole deal. Arm is just, 32, 32 and an eighth. But this kid got home a lot last year, rushing the passer. Now, here's the kicker. The year before, I believe he's at the University of Houston, played in one game. Got to do homework. Why did he only play in one game at Houston? Then he goes to Western Michigan. And I did the little bit I could do, Glenn. I don't believe it was injury. I don't believe he, missed the season due to injury, and that's why he only played one game. So you got to find out what the story was there, and then how did he convert that to having such a big year at Western Michigan? Because he acquitted himself nicely at the Senior Bowl. And a kid that I have my eye on who, again, had a much better 2024 than he did 2025. Not the most dynamic kid going, but he always finds the football. He's always around it, whether in coverage or rushing. And that's Keon Sloan, North Carolina State. Just one of those kids who just kept popping up for me. You know what I mean? Just kept looking. I say, man, I like this kid. And, of course, Dennis Sutton from Penn State. Good, hard, tough, physical kid, sets an edge well, knows how to play. We got to be real careful that we don't just get these kids swallowed up because Penn State has such a disappointing season after being touted so highly that sometimes we take the kids along with us. We go, oh, man, that was miserable for them. And then maybe I'm downgrading the kid all the way through, and that might not be the fair thing because he's another one who had a nice week at the Senior Bowl.
If the Ravens go edge or defensive line, I know everybody's got the Peter Woods from Clemson in that area in round one. If that's the route they go, can you find me a prototype wide receiver later on in the draft? Someone, and I'm not casting aside Rashad Bateman. I happen to be a Rashad Bateman fan, but it really does sort of feel like the Ravens are still missing that kind of X-factor prototype wide receiver to go along with Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I think you can find guys. I really do, Glenn. I said this 2 years ago, and I stand by it. I think as long as we're playing football in the style that we're playing right now, every year we will go into the NFL draft and say, the wide receiver group's pretty deep.
Yeah. I always love it when someone tells me it's I think we have had this conversation. When someone tells me it's a down year for wide receivers, and I'm like, yeah, and we're going to find 5 who are rock stars.
We are, and I take it this way. At my age, when I was younger, I'll just use the state of Texas as a great example. Everybody who loved college football in the state of Texas, which everyone did, they all wore jersey numbers that were running back numbers when they played in the backyard.
Sure.
They were all playing, some version of I formation, wishbone, and that guy carried it 30 times in the big games, right? That and a quarterback pitched the ball more than he threw it. Now with 7-on-7s and the camps and the proliferations and the whole thing, look at the number of quarterbacks we get out of the state of Texas.
Yep.
We get pitchers and catchers now, as opposed to we used to get runners. There are going to be plenty of receivers there. I don't know that we had all the top line guys, if any of them at the Senior Bowl. But the receivers that acquitted themselves best for me, Malachi Fields at Notre Dame, the Virginia transfer, he will remind you of a Ravens receiver in a big way. Big body kid, makes a lot of plays over the top. Is he really the guy that gets deep on you and just scares the heck out of you with his speed? I don't think so. See where I'm going? He's all the Ravens receivers save. Who's your little guy, little slot guy?
Zay,
who's so great?
Yeah. Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Save Zay Flowers, right? Isn't that kind of the carve out that you had of Ravens receivers over the last X number of years?
Yep.
So that's what we have. We'll see how it all shakes out. It goes. But he's the guy who caught my eye the most while we were there. There are guys who can run a little bit. A Chris Hilton Jr. from LSU. A Barian Brown from LSU. They could run. Ted Hirsch from Georgia State emerged. But are they at the top of the food chain? No, they're not.
I tend to agree with everything you just said, which is always the case whenever you and I chat, Charles. That's normally the way it works.
You're awfully kind. I'll tell you what, you are awfully kind.
Charles, what's the plan for you? Where are we going to be seeing you? When are we going to be hearing you? Are you going to be doing some mocks? What's the next couple of months look like?
Yeah. I've got a ton of work to do, as you know. Catch up with everybody, working on this draft stuff. Continue to do that. Working my way through that. Combine will be coming up in a couple of weeks. I'll be there for the Combine. And then I'll be doing mock drafts where actually it's funny you mentioned actually working today with someone at NFL Network to map out my schedule about how many mock drafts I will do. Whether it be 3, and I know they're trying to get me to 4, which, we're going to have a major discussion about because I'm going to counter with 2.
Yeah, how much can really change? That's always the difficult part. How much is really
I'll
changing?
counter with 2, and they'll counter with 6, and we'll just we'll figure it out. But I think I'll probably do 3 or 4 mock drafts before the whole thing's over, with the only one that I count being the last one I turn in the day before the draft.
That sounds good to me, Charles. We always appreciate it. We can't wait to catch up again as we get a little bit closer. Thank you for taking the time for us today.
Hey, thanks for everything, Glenn. You take care of yourself. Have a great, successful off season. Here we go, trying to find players again everywhere.
Thank you, brother.
All right, be good.